us from SK Gaming, MC.
Evolution complete.
Bienvenidos everyone, bienvenidos, welcome one and all to a Showmatch especial, papi, of MC contra la Comunidad Latinoamérica. Welcome one and all to, again, something special, a showmatch here, very special showmatch that the Latin American community has been hosting for the past couple of months here, bringing pro players together against the Latin American community. Oh boy, let's go, Bobby, let's go. It's great to be back. I'm, of course, host Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. As always, Shema, welcome one and all. And for those that are curious, what exactly is the Latin American community versus some of these pro players? Well, again, over the past couple of months, they've been featuring these big show matches between players like Dark, Bian, Su, Honmono, and MC as well. Here we go. There is no Wikipedia page for this, unfortunately. There is no page, but we have our own bracket set up here for us. We have players from all around Latin America, from all around Latino America, facing off against MC, the boss toss himself. For those that are curious, for those that are unaware, MC did return to competitive play this year. Specifically for show matches. So if you're thinking, I mean, MC, he was retired for a very long time, for many years, and he would only really show up every now and then for like a show match here and there, or not really. He ended up coaching a League of Legends team for a long time. He was streaming on his own personal channel. I'm not entirely certain as to what he's up to nowadays, but as of a couple of months ago, MC did return in the show matches, specifically in StarCraft Evolution. That is kind of a mod and cross between StarCraft 2 and Brood War. MC, he was playing in, I want to say, Soup. They, either Soup or Chijik, I think it was Soup. They created their own kind of show match event. Likewise, Tasteless created his, and there's been a couple of others that MC has been playing in, and this is likewise one of those as well. The show matches are going to be played on StarCraft Evolution, not on SC2. As a heads up. So we have our players here. We have Eon, we have Luciano, we have Ryojin, we have Atacario, and we have some special show matches after this. Oh, but we have a lot to go over. We have a lot to go over. Let's go, papi, let's go. It's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be beautiful. Again, I hope you're all enjoying yourselves in the chat. I see Night Phoenix in the chat, Complete Noob, as well, Psycons, Goro, bienvenido, Shema, one and all. Trish. I'm not even gonna try. Just like Brood War units with SC2 engine? Kind of. Oh, right. I just realized there are some people that haven't necessarily tuned into StarCraft Evolution in the past. I do recommend checking out our YouTube channel. We have, I want to say, as of today, all of the StarCraft Evolution championship has been uploaded to our YouTube. I do recommend it. Some really good matches there, featuring players like Classic, Shin, Dark, Spirit, and many others. I think it's all now on YouTube under the StarCraft Evolution As of 13 hours ago, all the VODs have been uploaded to YouTube regarding the StarCraft Evolution 4 Championship. The way this mod works here is that it pins the ported Brood War kind of version of the races against StarCraft 2. It's honestly been a really refreshing kind of variation of the game. We have been casting the weeklies, well, I should say the bi-weeklies over the past couple of months, and that led into the full championship, which was last month as well, which we did end up covering in its entirety. A lot of really good, really fun matches. The way this mod works is that it is balanced specifically for Brood War versus SC2. So at no point are you going to get Brood War versus Brood War or SC2 versus SC2. That is not the case for StarCraft Evolution. It's always one kind of side of things versus the other. That is specifically how it is balanced. Also, I should emphasize as well, when it comes to StarCraft Evolution, is that it is not a direct port of Brood War because, as I just mentioned, it is the numbers and the units are adjusted and balanced specifically against SC2. So there are certain spells that last longer or last shorter. There are certain spells that do more or less damage. Again, it is all balanced, specifically targeted to be fair against SC2, almost vice versa. I mean, SC2 is untouched. The SC2 side of things, it is untouched. It is, you know, as it is in the live version of the game. It is the Brood War side of things that gets balanced and patched over time. I think there was actually a new patch for StarCraft Evolution like a week ago or something, like relatively recently, and I think they're proposing some more changes, and I think there is a PTR version of the game as well that is currently live, that they're working and tweaking with to bring live, I want to say coming into January as well. So it is very actively worked upon, and there is a very dedicated community to StarCraft Evolution. Yeah, there you go. Exclamation mark SC Evo in the chat. If you want to help support the funding and the construction and the support of StarCraft Evolution, there is a Patreon. There's a Patreon for the mod that they have been dedicated to. But for now, we are jumping into our first matchup here. This is going to be MC versus Eon, the Costa Rican Zerg player. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Again, we're big fans of Eon here on the channel. He's a very aggressive Zerg player, is what I will say. Very aggressive. And we'll see if MC can survive the aggression of the Eon. Let's go. Let us go. So again, a fun fact, I don't think I've ever actually casted MC myself before. I've watched him many, many times, of course, throughout the history of SC2, but by the time we got into casting, he had already retired and become a coach in League of Legends. But here we go, we have our first matchup of the night, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player, the Purple Zerg, representing Team License to Kill, LTK. It is Eon. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss. It is Minchul MC. Let us go. Whew. And of course, we are going to be loading into the current ladder maps as they are in the current ladder map pool. There are some specific StarCraft Evolution maps that we will be diving into at some point as well, I am sure. Again, StarCraft Evolution, they have their own map pool with their own ported Brood War maps as well that have likewise been balanced for this iteration of the game. We can get into that if we do end up embracing some of these other maps like Monty Hall or some of these other maps as well. Gwengali Beach, that's it. I was trying to think of the name of the beach. So we'll get there at some point. For now, we do have our initial openers. It is going to be Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of Eon. Likewise, Minchul or MC back at home, just going to be going for his own Gate Expand setup. Standard openers so far. What I will say about this map, of course, welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef. It is a very large map in the map pool, almost the largest map in the map pool. Very long rush distance by ground, very defendable here on 3, 4, and 5 bases. Very defendable. We'll have to get rid of the turtle. I'll have to remember to do that. We'll get rid of the turtle. But overall, this is a very defendable, very macro-oriented map. So I do want to favor MC initially coming into this, just because Eon is going to have a harder time being aggressive on Abyssal Reef. And again, that is kind of what he is more known for. So Eon is going to have to calm things down a little bit and embrace a longer game state. At least I would imagine he would. Meanwhile, it's been a while since we cast the StarCraft Evolution. Again, the full championship was at the end of November, beginning of December, and, you know, now it's been a couple of weeks since then. We haven't had the luxury of really hosting or casting much StarCraft Evolution. What I will say is that we are preparing some end-of-year show matches, and we do want one of those show matches to be in StarCraft Evolution, but there have been some complications here and there. A bit of a PSA, I don't mind. I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying. We were actually going to be hosting a show match involving Quanta, the Korean Terran player. He's an amazing player. He's really good at the game. Did often stream, but there was an accident a couple of days ago. There was a fire in his apartment, and he no longer actually has a PC to play and compete, and there was, yeah, it's really big accident as of a couple of days ago, so he actually cannot take part in that show match, and of course other things are now, you know, more important going on in his life. So best of luck to Quanta, and I'll keep you guys updated if there is kind of a way to support him as well. I did see photos of the damage that was dealt, and it was pretty brutal. So much love to Quanta, much love, and yeah, hopefully we can support him in some way. Hopefully. As for now, Minchul does open up with Initial Rush. Did open up Gate Expand, where he has produced 4 Zelts here already. Zelts are going to be moving out across the map. Likewise, investing into Dragoon range behind this, into Dragoon production, which is the stock standard of this matchup. Typically, what we expect to see is Zelts, they are going to be distracted by the Lings. But typically, the meta here of Brutal Protoss against Zerg as the Dragoon gets surrounded. A big surround, Lings, they do slip in towards that natural base. The Zelts are out of position, and they have to race back home. Remember, there is no recall. There is no recall here. Lings, they do bust down that initial pylon as well, denying the shield battery. Oh, and damage is being done. Probes are going to be going down. This is getting out of hand. It is getting out of hand here. 7, 8, 9 probes going down. This should not have happened. MC did not have the Dragoon on hold position with it getting surrounded. I mean, that is crucial damage. That's 11 SCVs already. This was leading into eventually drop play with the shuttle, but we just keep flooding Lings. We just keep flooding Lings across the map. And Eon, before we can really sink our teeth into this series, Pappy, he's going for the kill. He's going for it. Lings, they slip in. A nice probe drilling here from MC, but still 16 workers are going to be going down. 16 probes, 18 probes do fall. He will clean this up eventually, but this is critical damage. Is critical damage. Again, it all came down to the fact that Dragoon was pulled out of position. Dragoon was, I'm sure, distracted by either Lings or distracted by the Overlord. Alas, was not in hold position. With that, 18 workers go down, and MC is in a rough place. Now, behind this, as we were kind of trying to get into, Dragoon into shuttle drops is the meta of PvZ when it comes to StarCraft Evolution. MC is getting there, but now MC has a lot of catching up to do. 26 probe kills. That is game-ending damage. To be honest, that is game-ending damage here. This one Reaver, this one shuttle has so much work to do. Unfortunately, Eon back at home happily droning. He's happily droning up, getting his lair up and running, getting a safety spine. Why not? Just getting safety side defense. At this point, Eon, he is far enough ahead to invest in side defense like this, like spores in each mineral line, spines in each mineral line, just to be as safe as possible. At this point, he can afford it. I don't know if Eon is fully aware of how ahead he is, but again, he should be looking quite comfortable here as he does scout the move out. Yeah, scouts the move out, gets us around. Dragoon should be going down. The Gateway Army should be falling. And really, the hopes and dreams of MC in game 1 are going to be in this shuttle more than anything. And sure, the initial Reaver has a lot of potential. It does have potential for damage, and can get a lot of drone kills. That is true, but it's got a lot of workers to kill, Pappy. Oh no, has a lot of workers to kill. Ling Bane is in position. First Zealot goes down. Reaver shot, doesn't quite go up, and MC is going to be forced back. We'll be able to get a couple shots off here on the, oh god, on the Lings, but not even. Yeah, and with that, Eon from here, he can take into a Spire, for example, and hunt down the shuttle, going to mass muta. He has options. Oh, shot goes off, gets 3 drones. Get not a bad start, picks off some Lings as well. There's limited anti-air, so the shuttle is having free reign. The Queens have yet to fully respond here to the shuttle. And there it is, Spire. Yeah, the Spire is just going to be a good response to this. As again, the shuttle is the only thing keeping MC in this game. Another massive shot goes off. That is 13 Lings going down. Headed towards the third base. Getting another shot. It can two-shot Queens and should bring the second Queen, or the first Queen down. Gets the Queen, picking up more drones. Back at home, MC, he is reprobing. Back up to 25, but still behind in workers. Still behind in the economy. Dragoon vaulted in towards the middle line, but it's going to go down as well. And MC has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull out. And there is no good answer here to these mutas. Typically, like in a more standard game state, if you were to scout the Spire especially, you would be able to get static defense, cannon, shield batteries, build up your Dragoon Count, throw down the Stargate, work towards Corsairs, or work towards Scouts, but Corsairs a little bit more reliable in that sense. And yeah, you would start getting ready for that anti-air army, but alas, MC doesn't really have the luxury to afford any of that, and likewise, did scout the Spire, but maybe didn't quite click on it. Maybe not quite. Double Reavers here in towards the natural. Again, they can take down the Queens. Oh, do we have another shot? We do have another shot going off of the Lings. Nicely done. Lings, they take a lot of hits. Mutas are on the way, and the Mutas, they will shut this down. Remember, no recall. There's no recall, so if you get caught out, you get caught out. Another Queen falls. Ooh. Clutch micro there here with the Dragoons, barely keeping them alive. They do take down every single Ling, but here come the Mutas. Yeah, the Mutas, they have arrived. They will clean this up. And again, that was the way of coming back in this game. Now we have cannons on the way. MC, he's now responding to the mutas with cannons, with side defense, with more Dragoon production. But MC is still stuck on 2 bases and he needs more time. He only has the 1 gateway. No. Just making 1 Dragoon at a time here. And Eon from here can move out across the map, can counterattack, it can wreak havoc, and just take more expansions. At this point, Eon, he can just double expand. He can take all these bases, drone up, get up to 80 workers, and max out. There's not really much stopping him. So does dive into the mineral line. Takes a lot of hit from the cannon. We'll get 4 probe kills. Oh, doesn't want to fight head on against the Dragoons though. Mutas have to back up. And again, the win condition for Eon should just be contained. Like, there's no need to try to rush into the natural, rush into the main. It's just deny the third. Deny the third base and deny any drop play. And again, just focus on maxing out from here, building up an economy. Eon just has to take it slow. Can be quite intimidating when you're ahead against a player like MC. 100%. I'm sure that is a factor here as well. But just has to take a breath, Bappy. It's okay. Just take a breath. You're good to go. Establish your expansion. Establish your economy. Taking gases. We have +2 melee on the way. Committed into Ling Bane. So he does poke in, taking down a couple more workers. Do see MC will eventually break out by knocking down those rocks. And he is building up a pretty intense army. I mean, what's important here is that because Eon hasn't been droning too hard, again, I do think that by this point he could have saturated this 4th base. He hasn't. Because he hasn't, I mean, the supplies are still quite similar. And especially the army supplies are quite similar as well. Bearing in mind how explosive these Reavers can be. As mutas, they do trade with the Dragoons. Taking down 2, 3 Dragoons so far. 4 Dragoons even. 4 Dragoons for 1 muta. Good trade here for Eon. Bailings, they crash in. Lings, they flood in as well. They flood in towards the natural. So far, nice kiting here with the Dragoons. Reavers are out of position. They're now racing back. And big shots going up here in the Lings. The Lings are going to get annihilated, but the mutas, they can try to clean this up. Oh, it's going to be close, but they will. Yeah, they shut down the Reaver. There's 1 Reaver left. Most Dragoons are falling. Again, Dragoons, I don't really trade too well here against the Lings. That's what the Reavers are for. That's a brutal losses. That was 15 Dragoons going down. And Eon can remax. Again, still doesn't have the best economy. Still on less than 3 base saturation. He's still on 59 workers, so he still has quite a bit of droning to do. He's sneaking out a couple of workers here and there. Couple of drones when he can. Enki, calm down. Enki is the Spanish caster, of course. Enki el Hermoso. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. But I believe there's, I say Enki's the Spanish caster. Enki's the main Spanish caster. The caster. There's like 6 casters, by the way. There's a lot of Latin American coverage on this event. Shout out to Enki, shout out to Pobla, shout out to Pacheca as well. Gnocchi, Atecario. Yeah, as the shuttle is going to go down, GG gets called, and with that, Eon will take the first game. GG. GG. Again, very well done here by Eon. Did start off with a very massive lead. Again, winding it back, it all just came down to the fact that the Dragoon wasn't on hold position. The Dragoon wasn't on hold position, it got surrounded, and then the Lings, they busted in. And I should also emphasize as well, it wasn't just that there was no hold position on that Dragoon, but also that MC happened to be moving out. If you remember, he moved out with 4 Zealots, and I want to say 1 or 2 Dragoons alongside them. He was halfway across the map when everything was falling apart, right? When that big mistake occurred and when Eon did punish. And again, this is something that even at this level of play, you cannot quite afford. Some people might not be familiar with Eon. If so, then watch some more CranKy Ducklings. We cast Eon quite regularly. If you remember, we casted Eon actually last week against Vindicta. Did have a full best of 3 series between himself and Vindicta as well. Eon is a very strong player, and as a result, you do need to tighten things up when playing against him. Here we go. That is going to lead us into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on King's Cove. Let's go. Going to be jumping into King's Cove. And I don't think game 1 was really too reflective of the skill set of MC, just because Eon had gotten such a lead so early on, but now we're settling into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove. We have the Costa Rican Zerg player, the purple Zerg, representing team License to Kill, LTK. It is Eon. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. We have his opponent. We have the Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is MC Minchul. Here we go. And now the roles have been reversed. I don't know if you notice, but remember, game 1, Eon was SC2 and MC was Brood War. And I believe we have since switched roles, with MC playing the SC2 Protoss race and Eon playing the Brood War race instead, the Brood War Zerg race. So again, this is typically how StarCraft Evolution show matches or matches are performed, where you alternate. From game to game, you do alternate back and forth. One player playing the Brood War variation, then switching to the SC2 variation, then back and forth, back and forth. Usually it's a loser's pick, so that is how it is decided which player would play which race, or which variation of race. Here's usually how it's played out. There we go. So far, so good. It is going to be Hatch Gas Pool. Send it opener here out of Eon. Likewise, Minchul or MC once again going for the Gate Expand. Actually, I'll do this. Beautiful. As we are going to be settling in. And again, MC has been playing a lot of StarCraft Evolution over the past couple of months. I'm curious what he's more comfortable with. I'm very curious. Obviously, he played SE2 for most of his career, if not all of his career. So maybe a little bit more comfortable with that, potentially. I'm sure we'll find out. I do know that there is an interview at the end of the show matches with MC. So we'll be catching up with that as well. I'm curious to what questions Enki is going to ask him. For now, we are going to be diving on into not just Hatch Tech, but Hydra Tech. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Brood War, then it's important to take note of a couple of things. One, there's no Roach Warren. There is no Roach Warren in Brood War, so... and there are no Banelings either, so the go-to composition is Ling Hydra. On top of that, because there's no Roach Warren, and because you need something, and because there's no Banelings, Hydra Tech is actually Hatch Tech in Brood War. You do not need a lair for Hydras, so Eon is going Ling Hydra. What you do need a lair for is Lurkers. So if you want to take into Lurkers, that's when the lair comes into play. Same with Spire Tech and Muta Tech, for example. But for now, it is going to be Ling Hydra. We have Ling Speed being researched. What I will emphasize as well is that this Hydra Den is very fast from Eon. Very fast Hydra Den, so it does seem like he's going to be rushing Hydras early on. For now, is expanding, droning up, taking more bases. Back at home, we do see MC is gearing up as well, opening up Sentry. Interesting. Zealot first into the Sentry. Lings have arrived. They should be able to shut down the first Zealot. Ooh, they should and they will. Zealot goes down. Hydra production has begun. And checking the vision here, MC, has he scouted? He did not. Ooh, he did not scout that Hydra Den. He did see the second gas geyser, but an earlier second gas is not the most unorthodox of things. That should still be a bit of a red flag. That should be a red flag as to what is coming, and as we can see, we are rushing into those Hydra upgrades. Hydra speed first, then into the rest of those upgrades. MC back at home. Ooh, Robo opener. Is going for an earlier Robo. And with this looks like a 2-base all-in. This looks like a Soul Train. I'll be honest. It looks like an Immortal Sentry all-in on 2 bases. But we're loading into King's Cove, and King's Cove is a very large map, long resistance by ground, and on top of that, the natural's very defendable because of this ramp. The natural and the third base are very defendable here on a King's Cove, so going into an all-in can be quite difficult to pull off. Prism is on the way, more gateways are finishing up. Yep, 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in out of MC. And Aeon, he's already making those Hydras. Yo, love to see the old, like, Brood War Hydra, like the model. The Hydras are, they are massing up as we speak. Lings as well, knocking down the rocks. Hallucination Scout will confirm the tech of choice, does confirm the Hydras. MC knows. He now knows what's going on. Likewise, Eon across the map. He has no Lord outside of the natural. Immortals are amassing. Lair is now on the way for Eon. He's moving out. He's moving out with his army as MC oh, not again. MC moves out. As he moves out, Eon moves in. Here we go. As Eon is moving out with those Hydras. Again, Hydra speed is now done. And he can now lay siege upon that natural. What is it to defend? 2 sentries, 2 zealots, no shield batteries, no static defense, no nothing. Do have a quadruple sentry job making its way towards the main. He wants to go for the force field. Oh, he's he's going for the force field. He's going for the force field. He's trying to lock down the army into the main. At the same time, Eon going for the base trade. He commits to the base trade. Where's the force field? Ooh, not quite. Instead, just knocking down the gateway, depowering everything in the natural. Sentry's not able to do much damage. Eon, he has to warp in back at home. Sorry, MC has to warp in back at home. The boys are being pulled into Hydras. You hate to see it. Immortal doing what they can. There's that warp in. Back at home, sentries are going down to the reinforcing Lings. And MC, he had a plan. He had an all-in that he was trying to work towards, but he's being pulled apart. Zelt's going to be falling. Immortal should fall as well. And the Rover's going to get depowered. Yeah, Eon snowballing out of control. He defends against the Prism. Depowers, or should depower everything here at the natural. There's going to be another warp in. Okay, Zelt's warping in. Oh god, no! The Immortal doesn't pop out. Just barely. Just barely, the Immortal is denied. And even though MC was setting up for his own 2-base all-in, Eon hits first. GG gets called, and Eon will take the 2-0. GG. Let's go. Let's go. GG, well played. Eon flexing both SC2 and Brood War takes the 2-0 over MC. Not the start that we really expected coming into this Showmatch series, but again, Eon is a force to be reckoned with, and MC is not necessarily a full-time pro player anymore. Regardless, GG. GG well played here to Eon, coming in with a plan here in Game 2. Game 1 felt almost incidental, I'll be honest. Game 1 was like, oh, I'm going to apply pressure with Lings. Oh, I got to surround. Oh, the door's open. Oh, I guess I'll just kill you. Like, Game 1 was a little bit more, yeah, it just ended a little bit more abruptly. Here in Game 2, basically both players, they didn't really scout each other. I mean, I should point out as well, Eon didn't even go into the main with his Overlord. He didn't really know what was going on, so neither player really scouted. They both embraced their own 2-base play. Unfortunately, Eon's did hit harder, did hit stronger, did get across the map, and MC, his army will split. Remember, his army will split up. Imagine if MC had scouted, had realized what was happening, and he had those 4 sentries back at home. Suddenly, he has a plethora of force fields. Suddenly, he's able to buy time. He'd have the NG overcharge as well, to have even more force fields as well, to buy time, to build up an army, get that second Immortal going, throw down shield batteries. Again, because MC didn't scout, that's why there were no shield batteries. He wasn't ready for an all-in. MC was caught with his pants down. I mean, Eon was as well, but Eon was the first to strike. MC less so. So GG well played. Eon does take the 2-0. And with that, Latino America looking good so far in the Showmatch series, not gonna lie. Let's go. Latino America, they come up, they start things off with a win on the board. But as a reminder, we have many more matches ahead of us here. Plenty more matches to come. Up next is going to be a PvP between MC and Artecario, the Chilean Protoss player. Let's go. So Costa Rica looking strong here in that first game, in that first series, I should say. But now we do have Artecario stepping up to the plate. Here we go. As a heads up, Artecario, he's going to be playing Protoss, SC2 Protoss, MC is going to be playing Brood War Protoss. Let's go. Let us go. If this was a dance competition instead of StarCraft, MC would 2-0 the ball. I mean, MC, he doesn't just have like a good you know, good dancing form. It's like trying to figure out what the hell I was trying to say. But he has the voice of an angel, mate. Peak MC is MC singing at Home Story Cup. Yo, let's go. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. Oh look! They all have Santa hats. They have little hats. He's explaining in the chat. Que lindo, con gorritos. Look, beautiful, beautiful. But here we go. We're getting into our next matchup and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala. We have Santa probes. We have the Chilean Protoss player, the red Protoss, the SC2 Protoss. It is Artecario. Beautiful. I didn't know this was a thing. It's beautiful. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Korean Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss. It is MC. Let's go. Let us go. Hold on. Let me just quickly set up his name as well. They have since changed colors on me. Shaking my head. Bam. Beautiful. Beautiful, as we are going to be settling into this mirror matchup. I mean, somewhat of a mirror matchup. The amazing thing, or the great thing about casting StarCraft Evolution is that mirror matchups don't really exist. The Brood War and SC2 counterparts are different enough to really just make it a completely different matchup with a completely different dynamic as well. What I will say is that SC2 Protoss is more mobile, 100%. It is more mobile with recall and with blink, and with the pickup range of the War Prism. They are so much more mobile, so much more flexible, so much versatility on the map. From the side of Brood War, less so, but they have a more kind of stronger, robust army instead. So we'll see how they do compared to each other. Probe Scout does dip in. It is going to be a 2-gate opener here by MC. Does go Zealot first. Interesting. Doesn't quite deny the Scout though, as we should be counting pylons. So at the Artecario, he dives in, he confirms the second pylon and the third pylon are in the main, and this confirms that MC is not proxy. So no proxy out of MC. Artecario does confirm this, and MC, he's working towards, of course, Dragoon range and Dragoon production. So he's building up towards Dragoons. Similarly to what we saw previously, like Dragoon Reaver should be the go-to composition here from the Brood War side of things. From SC2, Blinkstalker and Mortal should be more what we work towards as well. I mean, technically, we could head towards Charge. That is an option, but a more fringe option here. As MC does move out. Building up his army. Third gateway. Oh, one base all in. There should be an expansion by now from MC, and there is no expand, so he's going to be committing. He's moving out across the map. He does catch a sentry. Artecario, what's going on? Where are we going? Potentially a bit of Miss Micro, potentially trying to go for hallucination scouts, but he face checks with the sentry. Sentry goes down. Natural is under fire, and Artecario, he's in trouble. He is in trouble. We have a Twilight Council on the way. We do see that MC is already looking to knock down that front door. And here comes a shuttle to reinforce the micro. Help with that otherwise kind of maneuverability disparity, as Dragoons are rallying across the map. With the pylon going down, that means no shield battery. And again, Artecario, he is in trouble, trying to come in from multiple angles, Dragoons, they do step forward. They take down one of the Stalkers. They take down two Stalkers going down. A nice control here. MC pulls back with a Dragoon, and he will force his way forward. There's no saving this natural. There's no saving it. And MC doesn't even waste his time. He goes for the kill. He goes for the throats. Warp gate isn't even done. The voids are being pulled. One Stalker left. And MC is going to overwhelm. The final Stalker goes down. Only probes left remaining. One more Stalker has arrived, just barely in time. Takes down another Dragoon. Yeah, but the shots are brutal. Behind this, we do have the shuttle is out. The bay is done. And Reaver production has begun. Even without Reavers, though, I do think that MC should be able to overwhelm, as he does waddle into the main once again. There are shield batteries, though. Okay, shield batteries are done. Artecario, he's holding on. He's able to hold on to the main base. The natural should fall, and here come reinforcements. Now, again, reinforcements take a long time to get across the map. There's no warp-in mechanic, so Dragoons have to waddle across. But what they lack in maneuverability, they make up for in power. and range. As again, the natural is going to fall. Behind this, sure, there's a Twilight Council, but there's no blink. There's no blink here. No upgrade on the way. I mean, Atagaru, his economy was impacted previously because he had to pull the boys. And MC is waiting for that Reaver. Also, I have to get rid of... it's not turtle time. Not yet. Este tortuga. Ay, ay, ay. And so we go. Now we have high ground vision alongside the Reaver. Shuttle has arrived. Shot goes off. Ooh, reconnection. Takes down one of the Stalkers. Shuttle does get trapped here. There we go. Sorry, I should say the Scarab shot got stuck for a moment. Shot goes off. Stalkers, they can take a hit, but they take so much damage. And the shield batteries are running out of NG. 2 more Stalkers going down. There's 3 left. Oof. There's 2 left. 2 Stalkers remaining. There's the NG overcharge. Down to 1, down to 0. GG gets called, and MC overwhelms. MC takes down Atagario. GG. GG, well played. Again, Atagario, unfortunately, he didn't quite recognize what was happening. He didn't realize that it was a 1-base all-in until it was already in his face. So, unfortunately, a delayed reaction from Atagario. Typically, what you want to do with your first scouting probe, after you confirm the pylons, is you want to wait outside the natural. You want to wait outside to confirm that the probe comes down to expand, that there is any kind of follow-up, or that an army moves out. We do need that, that probe to get additional scouting information. Unfortunately, I believe, if I remember correctly, it went down to the Zealot, because MC did open Zealot first, intentionally so. So I think that first Zealot killed the scouting probe, and then if you remember, the follow-up was supposed to be a hallucination scout, but I think it was a bit of a misclick, and the sentry walked across the map instead. The sentry got caught out as well, and then everything just fell apart then and there. So GG, well played. MC does take down Atagario. As a heads up as well as to the format of this event, while I get rid of the turtle. One moment. There we go. MC versus Eon was a best of 3, but these matches moving forward are going to be best of 1s. These are going to be best of 1 matches here, not best of 3s. So MC, he will take down Atagario 1-0, and now he is going to be stepping up to face off against another Chilean player. This is not a Chilean Protoss, but a Chilean Terran player. Up next, MC versus the one, the only Luciano, papi. Let's go. Big fan, and again, Luciano, a good friend of the channel. Likewise, a player that we have casted many times, and likewise, I would say similar in skill to Eon. I think I might rate Eon a little bit higher than Luciano, but they're quite close. They're both GMs, of course. They're both GMs. They're both like semi-pro players. So this is going to be a challenge here for MC. I'm curious if MC is going to ever embrace a more macro game. We'll see. We shall see as we're getting into game number, or into the 3rd series of the night. Let's go. Here we go. See someone asking in chat, can an SC1 race ever face another SC1 race? In this tournament format, no. So in typical Masters Coliseum matches, that does not occur. Again, the sorry, no Mass Coliseum. In typical StarCraft Evolution matches, that does not occur, and even if it did, it wouldn't be balanced. Brutal races versus brutal races, then it's not balanced to be, you know, it's not patched or designed to be balanced in that kind of way. So most likely there'd be some, yeah, it wouldn't be the most fair of matchups. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Polar Knights, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the legend himself. Oh my god, with those lovely and beautiful hats. Look at them go. They're beautiful. The Brutal Protoss, it is MC. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, going for the oh my god, let's go, going for the proxy. We have the Chilean Terran player, the SC2 Terran representing Infernalis Esports. It is Luciano. Oh boy, let's go. Double gas opener here. I would imagine this is Proxy Marauder, with 2 gases being prioritized and with the racks finishing up. I would imagine this is either Proxy Marauder or a Proxy factory instead. We'll see how this all comes together here, as MC is going to be opening up Gate Expand, economic opener here out of MC. This is an old school map. You do have technically a pocket base so you can gain access to by knocking down these rocks. There's a Reaper Cliff coming in towards the main, but we'll see what Luciano plans to do with this proxy, as we're going initially Reaper. Okay, initially just proxy Reaper, and we're factory back home, I guess. Okay. Aggressive start, not committed. Not going to be committed here. Enki clarifying, yes, old map. This is an old map from back when MC was in his prime. Yep, factory back at home. Okay, so not committed. So Luciano, he's transitioning, does open up Reaper, and this is designed to give him a lead, to pick off a couple of probes, and to wreak havoc early on. This is not designed to kill, just to give him an edge. Ooh, my apologies here. I assume there was a cliff. I assume there was a cliff. There was not. There's a cliff face here outside towards the left-hand side. Reaper does dip in. We'll be getting one probe so far. Gets one worker. Dragoon is almost done. And we'll see how many probes he can get. So far, 2. Can he get 3? It's going to be close. Can he get 3 probes? So far, nice control out of MC. Does pull away, but the third probe. Oh, the third probe will survive. And the Dragoon will zone away the Reaper. Reaper gets zoned away. Second Reaper has arrived. Dragoon range on the way. And MC should be able to hold his own. Now, when it comes to this matchup, here things can vary. In PvT, we could see MC once again just go into Reaver production, go Stalker Reaver. He could go Charge Lot into Storm instead, into High Templar with Archons as well. So there are kind of different tech paths that are much more viable here for Brood War Protoss. So I'm excited to see if he does embrace something like Storm in the mid game, or instead back into Reaver production. Oh, as Luciano, I mean, it is current meta, it is current patch. You know what that means? That means it's the old Cyclone. Magfield Accelerators is on the way, and Luciano, he is meching it up. No. Aye, papi, aye. So, we do have mech on the horizon here from Luciano, and mech is a little bit more viable nowadays against Protoss, even SC2 Protoss. Oh, boy. As we are building up. Yeah. Ryojin is going to be showing up after this. Ryojin is the Bolivian Protoss player. Just letting them know. Big shout to Ryojin. As Dragoons have arrived. Nice lock-on here with the Cyclone. Oh, doesn't quite get the Dragoon. Nice control here. MC does break the lock-on. Started stepping forward. I'm trying to wreak havoc here at the natural. Up! Oh, Cyclone almost goes down. Again, despite the range of the Cyclone, Dragoons, they have range themselves. As it looks like one Dragoon is going to fall. Cyclone takes a lot of hits. Boys are being pulled to repair. Cyclone trying to catch reinforcements. Up! He gets one! And gets another Dragoon. Another Dragoon goes down, but MC is pushing into the main. And the Cyclones, they're falling one after the other. Ideally, Luciano, he wants to build up that Cyclone count and snowball out of control. But he's lost both of them. He lost both Cyclones already, down to one. One Cyclone left. And with that, he can't expand. With that, he loses control of the low ground. We'll pick off another Dragoon. But so far, MC, he's holding his own. Bay is on the way, so it looks like Dragoon's into Reavers. Dragoon into Reaver once again. Cyclone taking a lot of hits. Taking a lot of damage. Oh, nice lock-on towards the end. Boys have to be pulled. The second Cyclone's on the way. But again, Luciano, he can't afford this production. Can't afford to make 2 Cyclones at a time. He's lost too much. He's lost too much already. A nice scan. This is costing him mules. We'll get another lock on. We'll take down 2 more of these Dragoons. And Luciano, he will finally break out. I spoke too soon. Never mind. Because more Dragoons have arrived. And MC just trying to bully his way forward. Does overextend. We'll lose another Dragoon. But here comes the shuttle. And here comes the Reaver. The Reaver was left behind. MC with maybe a bit of an F2. As the Reaver, as you can imagine, is a very slow unit without a shuttle. It needs a there we go. It comes back home. The shuttle turns back around. The Reaver needs help. It's so slow. It's like a little caterpillar. Pick it up, Pappy. Pick it up. as MC is going to reinforce. Locon's going off. Ooh, taking down another Dragoon. Nice Locon there from Luciano. Now built up towards 4 Cyclones. And here we go. The Reaver is coming. Behind this, getting into Observer production. Shuttle speed on the way. MC busting in. Locons are brutal, but here comes up. Oh, the Scarab shot gets baited out. The Loco, no! Prism's going to go down. Massive pickup. Prism does fall. But MC barely has enough to break through. Yeah, getting into the mineral line. Nice kiting here from Luciano. Up the ramp. Oof. Takes down all the Dragoons, and this Reaver, it's going to be a one-way trip. Oh no, don't stack up! No! Oh my god! 9 SCVs going down, a critical damage. 12 SCVs even. Don't pull the boys again. We were all oof, Bathy, oof, ay, ay, ay. Don't pull the boys into Reavers, not like this. Don't hug the Reaver. They don't like hugs. Ay, ay, ay. And just like that, MC has a massive economic lead. MC, he's on 57 workers. He's on a 3-base economy. He's taking up. Battle Mech, I mean, I think I would go as far as to say it's just a really unfortunate start. MC in general has been very aggressive this entire tournament. He's been very aggressive, very active, and even though we see moments like this where Battle Mech can trade well early on, if you remember, it took a long time for Luciano to even get 3 Cyclones up and running. Like, they just kept dying one after the other, real early, real quick, and that did slow him down, just because of how aggressive and how assertive MC has been. I'm sure against a more passive player, this is more powerful, or this can snowball out of control faster. But again, Luciano, he just hasn't really been able to build up. He's down to 5 Cyclones. Down to 5. MC pushing in. Lock-ons on the Reaver. Sorry, on the shuttle. Not quite. Reaver shot's going to be going off. Oh my god. I'll pick up Micro as well. We're down to 1 Cyclone. Yeah, just 1 Cyclone left. Oh, no, there it is! No! As the boys are pulled once again, GG, well played, and MC will snowball out of control, and MC will take the game and take down Luciano. GG. GG, Papi, GG. Again, a lot of people, I feel like, falsely equivalent, or they falsely, like, kind of, try to make comparisons between the equivalent even comparisons between the Reaver and a Disruptor. We have spoken about this in the past. The Reaver is more like a cross between the Disruptor and the Immortal. The biggest difference between a Reaver and a Disruptor is the build up on the shot. With a Disruptor, you can micro against it a lot easier because the shot goes off. You can track the shot itself. You can split against it. It takes time for the explosion to go off. When it comes to a Reaver, it's a little bit different because it builds up the shot ahead of time. It builds a Scarab. It builds Scarabs, and the shot is almost instant. Like, the shot goes off. It does travel across to actually hit the units and hits its targets, but it is a much shorter travel time, I should say, and it takes a shorter time for the explosion to go off as well. So it can be a lot more unforgiving as a result. I mean, the downside, as you can imagine, as you've seen, is that the Reaver is very immobile, very slow. Without something like shuttle support, it is a very vulnerable unit, but it packs a lot of power and a lot of devastation, and yeah, it can be crazy. It can be brutal. So with that, GG, well played. MC does take down Luciano, and now we're getting ready for our next matchup here. Oh, my apologies. Do I have that misplaced? There we go. We're getting ready for our next matchup. It is going to be MC versus the Bolivian Protoss player in Ryojin. I'm pretty sure... so I don't know if you saw the text earlier. They were talking about how Ryojin was missing, so they're having an extra game. I'm pretty sure the initial plan was for MC to play against one of each GM Latin American races, right? With Eon, Luciano, and Ryojin. All 3 of them, they're all GM players. They're all like semi-pros. They're all good in their own right. But because Ryojin was missing, I think that's why Atagario stepped in. Atagario, he's less so. He's more of an amateur player. But I think that's what they were referring to earlier in the in-game chat. So Ryojin has arrived, and he is stepping into the ring for another PvP. Let's go. Let us go. as we are getting into our next game. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Neo Planet S. Oh my god, this is a blast from the past. In the left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss. It is MC. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Bolivian. Oh, wait, what? The Bolivian Zerg player? Never mind. The Bolivian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Infinitas Esports. It is Ryojin. Okay, never mind. Ryojin playing Zerg. Oh, Enki, calm down, Papi, calm down. But yeah, hold on. Am I losing my mind? As we are going to be settling in. But yeah, Enki just letting the other casters know that this is a map from Heart of the Swarm. Yep, of course. A very old map. My apologies. Sorry, a Zerg player, not a Protoss player. My apologies. Is Zerg. I don't know why. Who was I thinking of? Maybe I was thinking of Facebook, the Bolivian Protoss player. But we are going to be settling in. They're asking Enki to host a map, a Wings of Liberty map, to really have a blast from the past. True. It's been a long time. Gate expands. Sorry, gate into Forge. We're going for a delayed cannon rush. Okay, MC, you have my attention. It's almost like a Forge Fast Expand-esque build, but I'm pretty sure he plans on throwing down pylons and throwing down cannons. Now, Brood War cannon rushes are a thing. This is a delayed cannon rush because of the expansion, though. And I'm assuming that he's going to set up cannons, but he might just be opening up defensively. Huh. Okay. No offensive cannons. Yeah, let's go. Forge Fast Expand. So with this is a very economic opener, as you can imagine. The downside here is that your tech is delayed. You're going to be delaying tech, but you're getting a faster expansion. You're making extra probes. Your economy is going to benefit as a result. No offensive cannons whatsoever. You should have a defensive cannon instead, as we can embrace the map itself. Oh my god, okay, we do have some gold bases here in the center of the map. I believe I've never casted on Neon Planet S. There actually aren't a lot of expansions now that we look at things here. The third base is very far apart, very exposed. So is the fourth base as well. Yeah, this does feel very old school in the sense that you struggle to even take a third. Okay, Ryojin is going for his third, but we'll see if he can hold on to it. We shall see. Cannons on the way, second pylon, full wall. MC, he should be able to hold. Should be fine. Lings, they do poke in, but they won't get much done. Now, with a Forge Fast Expand, I'm curious if MC's plan is just go straight into Reavers. It's possible. I mean, Robo here could just be into a bait. No, Robo into Stargate. Interesting. I'm curious as to where this takes us. Very tech heavy. First things first, very tech heavy. I mean, there's nothing to defend. There's one zealot and one cannon. And the army is not going to get too much larger too quickly either. Like, we're taking up, we're building up. From here, we can head into something like... this could just be like a Corsair opener or a Scout opener to hunt down Overlords, true? Like, one Scout, one Corsair, and just hunt down Overlords left and right. Meanwhile, shuttle into Reavers. Okay, Reaver drop. It's going to be a Reaver drop here from MC. Bay's on the way. Show us what you got. And there's the Scout. Scout is on the way. Overlord does confirm, sees both the Stargate and the Bay as well, so Ryojin knows. Now, what's really interesting here, one of the common ways to shut down this drop play is to go into a lair and rush into mutas and just go into Lingbane muta. This initial Stargate opener is going to deter muta play, so instead we do have an earlier Roach Horn out of Ryojin. And I'm curious what his plan is going to be here and how he does respond. So far, just going Ling Roach, and oh, that's a lot of roaches. It's looking like an all-in. it's looking like an all-in here from Ryojin. Massing up 12 roaches, moving out across the map. Scout has arrived to hunt down those Overlords. Even going for a second Scout. That I was not expecting. Second Stargate. Okay. You have my attention. Reaver into Mass Scout. Huh. This you don't really see too often. Okay. First Overlord goes down. That does supply block Ryojin. Ryojin is moving up with this all-in, but trying to all-in a defensive player here with Reavers is not going to be easy. Here we go. This expansion has maps with less expansions. Specifically this map, I should say. Heart of the Swarm. There's plenty of late game on Heart of the Swarm, but there's maybe less standardization amongst the maps. As Road Traptor does knock through that first Zealot. Zealot's going to be going down there. So, ooh, the pylons are exposed. First one is going to fall. Depowers the Rover, but the Reaver arrives. Oh my god, massive shot goes off. The Reaver does pop out. Nice piles though on the Reaver. Another shot going off. And so far the control is good. The Reaver takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Oh my god. Goes off on the Lings. There's still 3 shots left. But the army is breaking through. Yeah, Ryojin is snowballing out of control. The scouts, they can help somehow, some way, but their anti-ground attack is not really known for. It's not really known for anti-ground. And the Rover is going to fall. Yeah, nice pickup. Lings, they flood into the main. 16 probes going to be going down. Ooh, we'll take a massive shot to the face. Ryojin is pushing in and he's not done. And he's breaking through, takes down the Reaver. The Reaver does fall. Cleans up every single probe as well. And MC is down to purely Scouts. And Scouts, they will eventually kill everything, true. Eventually. They will kill everything on the ground. I mean, that's a lot of Scouts. Jesus. And they will clean this up. Back at home, what do we have? Lair is on the way. Spores are being thrown down. Extra queens are being produced as well. Ryojin just making sure there is no saturation at the natural. Ryojin heats up 15 workers. Should be able to take down the pylons. A little bit indecisive. Busting into the main. Busting into the main base instead. Getting 32 probe kills. No extra workers though. Things they still keep wreaking havoc here in the natural. Now, if this was like SC2 Protoss, and if he had like 3 or 4 Void Rays, I'd be like, yeah, like MC could 100% win this game. Like Void Rays can just snowball out of control. Scouts a little bit less so, just because again their anti-ground attack isn't really anywhere near as potent, but that is still a lot of Scouts. How many do we have? 7, soon to be 8. 8 Scouts here for MC. For now, he's being kept back at home, but again, that's a lot of firepower. Due to this many Scouts, I would not be opposed to additional spores. Like, instead of just 1 per base, I would be more comfortable with 2. Like, 2 at the third, 2 at the natural, 2 in the main as well. The creep is lacking between the main and the third, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for queens to rotate. Scouts do move out. Hydrogen almost done. Oh, the Hydrogen queen is under fire. No transfuse. Yeah, no transfuse. The queen is going to go down. 1 scout falls. That was a massive pickup. As more scouts are building up, Reaver is being produced once again. Ryojin's still in a very healthy economy. As the scouts move out, the Lings, they move in. But there is that Reaver to defend. Oh my god. Lings, get out of here. As scouts, they dive into the main. Ooh, Hydras are ready for this though. Somewhat ready. Scouts, they hunt down more of those overlords. Likewise, Lings trying to bust down that front door. Once again, Reaver forced back home. The wall is getting low. Ooh. Now, what is concerning me here, when this eventually does move out, Hydras are strong, don't get me wrong, especially when it comes to versus Scouts, but that's what the Reavers are for. There's going to be a lot of Reaver shots, a lot of Scarabs available here against those Hydras. We need Lings. We need Link support here alongside the Hydras. Otherwise, the Reavers are going to wreak havoc. MC rotating around. Ooh, shot's going to be going up. And so far, they take down the Lings. They take down the Queen. Nice spread though. Nice spread here from the Hydras. Oh my god. The Reaver shots are insane. but the army gets forced back. Say in the chat. Scout ground attack is worse than I remember. I believe it's actually stronger in this mode than in Brood War. Like, Scout anti-air is awful. Oh my god, Jesus. But yeah, Scout. Oh, the shuttle, no! The shuttle goes down. GG gets called. Ryojin, he does hold. He did snowball out of control, and Ryojin takes down MC. GG. Whew. Oh my god. Ryojin gets the win over MC. GG, well played. Does take it. And again, just to reiterate, I believe the anti-ground attack of the Scout was buffed a couple of weeks ago. It was buffed a couple of weeks ago. It is stronger than what it is in Brood War. But yeah, it's in Brood War. It's actually it's I think it's like equivalent, or it's either equivalent or worse than like the Sentry attack used to be. Yeah, it's not good. But I mean, in the end, MC was able to hold with it, was able to survive, was able to, you know, make a game out of it somewhat, but he had taken critical damage. Remember, it was like 26 probe kills. I think it was 26 workers going down. It was brutal economic damage, and MC was doing something unorthodox as well. Like, you don't often see like Reaver mass scout. Like, that's crazy. Like, remember, initially I thought, oh, like a Corsair or like a single scout opener just to deny overlords and then go into like ground toss. But MC just doubled down, went mass scout. It's something you almost never see. I appreciate it though. I do appreciate it, but that was crazy. That was wild. GG, well played. MC with the crazy builds. And with that, Ryojin does take the win. Does take the win here again. Latino America, they're fighting back. They're fighting back. Speaking of fighting back, let's catch up on some of these results here. Okay, so we have all of our 1v1s done at this point. Eon took down MC 2-0. MC took down Luciano. MC was able to take down Artecario as well, but did fall to the Latin American Zerg players, and Eon and Ryojin. So yeah, we have a back and forth. We have a back and forth going on here between Latino America and MC, but we have more to come. We have more to come here. We're going to be going on a very short break. We have the second half of the show matches. We have something different. We have something special here. We have MC versus 2 players at once. Now, to balance things out a little bit, the players that are going to be rising up are not going to be GMs. These were the 1v1s. These were the 1v1s against GM players. Up next, we have MC against a wave of diamond players. Let's go. Let us go as I quickly switch this over here. Bam. Okay, we have MC versus Bomita and Ninja. We have MC versus It's Not Freya and Atlas, and MC versus Gnocchi, Rifador, and Greatheart. Let's go. So this is not Archon mode. I should emphasize this. This is not Archon mode. This is 2v1s and 3v1s. Let's go. You don't often see that. Don't often see that kind of matchup. So going to be going on a very short break. When we come back, we will have the 1v2s and the 1v3s. See, and this is also still StarCraft Evolution as well. Also still StarCraft Evolution. So we'll see you soon after the short break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, and get ready for the nonsense to come. Get ready for it, Pappy. Get ready for it. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, okay, we had some very fun show matches already here. Some fun 1v1s featuring MC against the plethora of Latin American pro players, but against Latin American GMs, I should emphasize. But now MC is up against something different, something special. He's up against a sea of Diamond players and potentially some Masters players as well, but I believe they're at least Diamond. And here we go. We do have a 1v2 between MC and Bomita and Ninja. Let's go. Let's go. We have a 2v1 ahead of us. We are jumping on in. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever casted a 2v1. I don't think I've ever... I mean, we've casted like Archon matches and stuff like that before, but nothing quite like this. So we'll see how this goes. We shall see. As spawning in the top right-hand corner. In the top right-hand corner, we have the man of the hour himself. We have the South Korean Brood War Protoss. It is MC. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his two opponents. We have the blue and teal union, if you will, of Bomita and Ninja. Not Ryojin. But let's go. We have Bomita and Ninja rising to the challenge here. We have our Protoss duo, Protoss SC2 duo against the one Brood War Protoss player. Let's go. Let us go. Now, something that I should emphasize as well, as we settle into this, the way that we made this work is that we did have a teammate. It's a 2v2 technically, but the teammate of MC has left the game. If you notice there at the start, did leave the game. But to make things a little bit fair, this tells me that MC, he is benefiting from this, from a second base economy. Let's go. Here we go. But MC, he is in a way 1v2ing, but thankfully he has a second base. So in a way, the economies are fair. The economies, they do start things off fair here. Otherwise, it'd just be one base versus two bases, which would be crazy. But now we're going to be settling in. Of course, the advantage here is that basically MC starts with a two-base economy instead of the two one-base economies, which means he can immediately go for extra gateways. Extra gateways being thrown down, a forge as well. Ah, power of Christmas. Beautiful. As we are building up. And likewise, we do have our build of choices. Okay, so we do see Bomita is staying on one base. He's going for a two-gate opener on one base. Meanwhile, it's the... El milagro de Navidad, papi. True, true. The miracle of Christmas. As we do have Ninja instead going for a gate expand. Oh, never mind. Going for a Robo Opener before Nexus. So he will go for a more delayed expansion, but is looking to take his Nexus nonetheless. Meanwhile, MC is still benefiting from that second base, does take extra gases, and is going into Mass Dragoon. He's rushing into Dragoon range, going Mass Dragoon initially, and I imagine MC is going to be the aggressor, and he will soon move out across the map. Oh boy, what is it going to be to defend here? So far, third gateway. Bomita committing to one base play. So this is just straight up borderline one base all in here from Bomita, going into Mass Stalker. Meanwhile, Ninja is going to be going more economic, is going to be opening up Robo for further Immortal production, setting up his low ground expansion. Shield batteries on the way, but they're going to have to make a stand here at the ramp. Meanwhile, MC, he does rotate around. He avoids the ramp, is going the long way around towards the right hand side to Lake Siege upon that natural. So MC does skirt around the edge. Bomita, he does miss the army, and we need Bomita back at home. Meanwhile, he's going to be harassing the mineral lines, or I should say Ninja's harassing the mineral lines. Probes are going to be going down. That does distract MC, but the Stalkers have, sorry, the Dragoons have arrived, and Bomita, we need him back at home. The base is under fire. Natural base is going to go down. Yeah, there's no saving this. There's no saving the natural. Not like this. Again, Bomita, he turns back. Oh, no. Ninja, he needs his teammate, papi. There we go. The Immortal has arrived, and with the help of the Immortal, he should be okay. Yeah, the Immortal alongside the Stalker, of course, should be able to hold on. Does force back his opponent. Bomita does overextend, so we'll be losing one of the Stalkers. Takes a lot of hits. With the help of the shield battery, we'll be able to hold on. Does hold on. We do have that Immortal dancing with the army. Nice control here from Ninja. He's establishing his natural. He does hold on. The shield batteries are repowered. and we can embrace a longer game state. Likewise, Fumita also going to be expanding. He has built up a decent Stalker count. No Twilight Council yet, so no Blink. No Blink whatsoever. Just vanilla Stalker with Immortal. And MC, he has continued that Dragoon production. He wants the Immortal. He wants it. Oh my god, takes a lot of hits. Barely does survive. And nice control here by Ninja. He does pull away. Does pull away, building up more Immortals. Meanwhile, as Ninja's building up Immortals, we have MC building up Reavers. Reavers are amassing. We have shuttle speed on the way. His own natural base, or I guess, yeah, his natural base, it was relatively untouched to get up and running. We have cannons here to defend. Third base on the way for MC. And MC still being the aggressor, still just keeping the other two, the duo, pinned back. But they are stabilizing. They're stabilizing on their own 2 base economies. What I will say is that it does feel like Fumita, his probe count, I mean, he's making probes. He isn't making workers, so his economy is lackluster. It does feel like Fumita is a little bit lower rated compared to Ninja, so his macro is suffering, and as a result, his production, his army is going to be suffering as a result. We need to make some workers back. But we'll see if Ninja can lead the way with him. See if he can lead the way. Reaver jump setting up. I do think it's good that MC is focusing on Ninja. I do think that Ninja is the stronger of the duo. So if MC can can harass and can hinder Ninja, is gonna benefit. 1 probe going down. 1 probe does fall. Meanwhile, DT slips into the mineral line, and probes are going down. Do we have any detection? Uh-oh. 0. Okay, there's a probe. There's an observer. Observer does race back. Observer will defend. Meanwhile, Ninja chasing down that shuttle. There we go. DT goes down. That's when his probe count is in the gutter. Still on 1 base economy. Oh! Reaver shot going up. Massive connection. So far, 7 kills in total. Ooh. Almost getting the Stalker. Almost. Shuttle gets zoned away. So far, Ninja, he is holding. He's maintaining himself back at home. We are just embracing not just Mass Dragoon into Reaver, but Storm as well. Storm is almost done for MC. Storm, an upgrade that we haven't actually seen here tonight. Not yet, but soon we will. Soon we will with those High Templar. With those Storms. And MC, he has a pretty devastating army. Back at home, they're still building up. Still building up their forces. Here we go. As MC is going to skirt around the edge. Headed towards the main. Likewise, we do see Fumita. He is in position. Oh. He's going to be able to deflect. So far, so good. He's holding his own. His economy is still lackluster. I should emphasize that. Like the probe count here is still lackluster for Fumita, but he's getting there. He's building up. As MC does push through the center, drop into the expansion, into the mineral line. Oh, and probes are going to be going down. Oh, brutal connections. Oh my god. There was once full saturation, down to 3 probes, down to 3 workers. Ay. 10 probes going down, crippling the economy. I mean, Fumita barely had an economy to begin with. Now it's almost non-existent. Ooh. Shuttle takes a lot of hits, but here comes the main army. Both Fumita and Ninja, they're distracted. They're distracted by the shuttle. And here comes the main force. Here comes MC. Does distract here at the ramp. Shuttle still between the bases. Ninja does have a standing army. He can try to hold his own, but here come the storms. As MC does charge in. Colossus has arrived. Reavers and High Templar lagging behind. But he's going to be collapsing in. Ooh, Storm on the ramp. I mean, Storm's not going to be amazing against shield-based units, but I mean, it's cool to see nonetheless. Storms on the Stalkers. And the Storms are popping up. And Fumita's army just crumbles. It completely melts. Ninja is on his own. A Storm on the ramp. Oh my god, just zoning him away. He can't push in. And the low ground is in control of MC. Yeah, takes out the natural of Ninja and Fumita. takes them both down. Again, they'd have to have worked together here to try to hold on to the ramp, but last they weren't able to. They were distracted by the drop play. Now there are no more storms, but the Reaver shots are brutal. Even a High Templar, Storm Pappy, go for it, send it. Oh my god. As MC does overwhelm the low ground, takes down the naturals for both players, still rallying across the map. More High Templar. GG gets called as Ninja taps out. And Bomita is going to try to make his final stand. He's doing what he can. GG. And MC takes down the first duo. GG. GG well played. Again, a very chaotic start to the game, especially when it came to the initial aggression at the natural. In the end, Ninja was able to stabilize on 2 bases, Bomita less so. Again, Bomita, he was more concerned and more focused on building up his production and building units. Because of that, his own economy did fall by the wayside, and he was just outscaled. He was just outscaled, and he wasn't able to support his teammate as well as he otherwise could have. And then things kind of, you know, snowball out of control there. MC doing a great job of just pulling apart both players, delaying and crippling their economies, and eventually snowballing out of control with Storm, which again, we don't really get to see too often, or we didn't see too often here tonight until now. GG. GG, well played. Up next, we have our next duo here. It's going to be It's Freya versus Atlas. Let's go. We're getting ready for our next duo. This time, it's going to be MC, of course, as Brutal Protoss, but he's going to be going up against a Protoss and a Zerg opponent. Here we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the man of the hour himself. We have the pink Protoss player, the Brutal Protoss. It is MC. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the duo themselves. We have the red Protoss alongside the yellow Zerg. It's not Freya and Atlas. Not Ryojin. Casting tool doesn't really like 2v2s, so the second intro is a little bit scuffed, but it's fine. It's fine. We are going to be settling in. Again, Emerald City, I believe, was a 2v2 map for a very long time. I think it's still in the 2v2 ladder map pool. I could be mistaken. I know the 2v2 ladder map pool has since been updated over time, so it has been changed. But I was in the ladder map pool for, I want to say, like a couple of years actually. It's been a while. It's been a while, and we'll see how we do open up. So far, we do have a hatchcast pool set up here from. Hello. What's going on? I was going to say we have a standard opener here out of Atlas, but he is going for a drone scout, which is very unorthodox. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have MC, not just with 2 bases. He's going for a gate double expand. Very greedy build here by MC. Gate into a 3rd and 4th expansion, considering he already has a natural waste up running. This is insane greed out of MC. And if this duo, if they realize what's going on, they can punish this. They can all in. They should all in, because if they don't, MC is going to get out of hand. 1 natural gets scouted, or I should say the 3rd base gets scouted, but he needs to confirm the 4th.
Our allies' base is threatened.
Does need to confirm. Zod has arrived. Drone doesn't quite check. There we go. There we go. The probe does come across that. Now they realize how greedy MC is being, and they need to respond. They need to react to this. If they don't, then it's about to get crazy. It is about to get crazy here. Meanwhile, in the end, hatchgas pool here from Atlas. Not Freya. Does open up 2 gates. 2 gates into a delayed expansion. It doesn't. He did go for a gas steal, I guess. But we're not being aggressive enough here. Okay, Roach Warren. We do have a very fast Roach Warren out of Atlas. This looks like a Roach Rush. Like with a Roach Warren at the 2-minute 25 mark, that is insanely fast. There should be a Roach Rush out of the Zerg player. The question becomes, are they working in tandem? Right, this does often happen in 2v2s, especially if players aren't really aligned. If they aren't necessarily like working together, then we could see one player go for an all-in and the other player try to macro out of it instead, which means that the all-in in general is just going to be weaker, which means MC will defend and MC will snowball out of control. So we'll see if Freya does join Atlas in his endeavors, assuming that this is an all-in, and it should be. As the Roach Warren is done. Spine on the... Oh, never mind. So this is a misread. This is a misread here from our players. Again, what is it to defend? 2 zealots and a dragoon and 2 cannons. Why are there cannons? Because of the hyper greed. Because MC has been insanely greedy. He is cutting so many corners here. Freya's gonna be poking in with 2 adepts, and they do get eyes on the wall. They're gonna shade on in, and there is potential for damage. Ideally, we should come into the shade. We can 2-shot probes. Ooh, the shots aren't quite lined up. They get 1 probe kill so far. 1 worker goes down. Adept does fall. And he shades into the main, but there's a cannon. There's a cannon in position. MC, he's defending, and Atlas is throwing down more site defense. Again, this is a misread here from Atlas. This is something that a lot of low-ranked players do quite often. Is that because they're not necessarily aware of what's happening, they would invest heavily here into site defense and invest into production and tech structures earlier than they should, just because they're playing it a little bit scared. So that's what this screams to me, at least. Just really scared play out of Atlas. I don't blame him. I mean, he's up against MC, like he's a legend, the boss toss himself. But this is setting him behind. It is setting Atlas behind. Meanwhile, we just see Freya getting into his own 2-gate opener into something very tech heavy. Is thankfully expanding and getting his natural, but it's a much later expansion out of Freya. Is going into Robo Star gameplay. Okay, so it's going to take a while for these 2 players to really build up and really get into their own armies, like really get into their own setups, which means MC has successfully gotten away with this. He's gotten away with a 4-base economy, and this is what he can afford: a mass gateway explosion. We have 6 gates on the way. That's going to be, what, an 8-gate setup in total. We have the Robo, we have the Bay, we have upgrades, we have Storm. Like, MC can afford everything. And yeah, this is crazy. And both Freya and Atlas, they're in a lot of trouble. Things are looking bleak already here. Things are looking very bleak here for our Freya Atlas duo. As MC is building up, he is moving out, going for the initial Reaver drop. Over time, he's going to be massing up with charge lots, dragoons, a bit of everything here in production. He is amassing his army. Now, these Phoenixes have potential. We see Atlas going for a ninja base. Like again, this is going for the ninja base. Unnecessarily so. He can just take a regular third. It'll be fine. But is going for a ninja base. Unfortunately, Phoenix is out of position. Otherwise, they could have shut this down. And here comes the Reaver drop. Scarab shot going off. Gets 1 probe. Getting an extra 2. 3 probes in total. Gate 3 probes. Phoenixes, they should shut this down. Remember, there's no recall. It's a one-way trip. Oh, no! Oh, my God. Massive connection. Yeah, massive shot goes off. He should get 1 more shot here into the mineral line. Taking down more drones. That is 18 worker kills in total. Oh, my God. 18 workers going down for 1 Reaver. A pretty worthwhile Reaver. Shuttle does fall as well, unfortunately, but again, regardless, the damage was done, and MC still has a booming economy, and MC's almost maxed. MC is almost maxed out, is at 140 supply. Throwing down, I mean, he has to spend his money, so throwing down extra gateways. Can this gateway produce? Can it? No, yeah. Fun fact, this one gateway can't finish the Dragoon because it's completely covered, it's completely surrounded. I was about to say that because there's no warping mechanic, you have to treat this like Rax's, for example. You need to leave room. So not the most efficient setup here by MC, but it's fine. The Dragoon that never was. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. It's fine though, it's fine. As MC's moving out, he's maxed. At this point, he's basically maxed out. As he's gonna be moving out across the map. That one Dragoon that never graduated. He's just stuck training. He's stuck in school. Smurge. As MC does move out. Pushing up this ramp is going to be difficult, but he doesn't have to. Doesn't have to push up the ramp. He denies the low ground expansion. Storms are coming in. We have the initial storm. There's still 2 more left behind this. The base does fall. Second storm here on the ramp. 2 more storms. MC's still waiting. Oh my, that's a lot of storms. MC waiting for his reinforcements. Meanwhile, Reaver drop into the main, ideally trying to distract some of the production. And oh my god, the storms are brutal. The massive storms here on the army. He stands in the storm. No, they stand in the storms. And the armies, they melt. The Protoss and Zerg army melts. And with that, MC does force his way up the ramp in towards the natural. Still plenty more storms available. And the storms, they gotta pop off. Oh my god. the storms are crazy. I love the effect of the Brood War Storm, by the way. It is so much more like devastating. It's like, damn. Like visually, it just looks like it does more damage, you know? It just has that much more power behind it, that much more weight behind it. As Zealous, they get into the mineral lines, the base goes down, Freya's down to 1 base, and Atlas soon to be the same. Atlas does have a ninja expansion, but I mean, that's not really it's not gonna factor in. It's not gonna factor in at this point. As again, the natural is gonna fall. Plenty of storms available just in case. And both Atlas and Freya, or not Freya, they're huffing a bit of copium here. And again, this all came down to the greed of MC and the failure to punish the greed. That's really what it came down to. I think Alice is talking about the ninja base. He's talking about his ninja base. He's like, wait, you just noticed? As Storm's gonna be going up. And yeah, MC is just gonna snowball out of control from here. Pushing into the main. Hopefully Atlas doesn't force MC to find the expansion. Oh no, shit, he's gonna make a spawning pool. Hopefully that isn't the case. As the main base is gonna fall. And GG gets called. Atlas is gonna tap out, and so does Freya. And GGMC takes down the next duo. Takes them down. GG, well played. Takes out Atlas and Freya, or not Freya. 1-0. Whew. Oh boy. GG, well played. Again, just the hyper greed out of MC was insane. Going 4 Nexus, quadruple Nexus before Cybercore. Remember, it was gate, expand, expand. Like, you don't get greedier than that. The only greedier thing you can do is just go expand, expand, right? Like, just skip the gateway and just go straight Nexus, which would have been crazy. So just hyper greed out of MC, got away with everything, and with that did snowball out of control. Unfortunately, it did feel like at least Atlas was playing it a little bit scared, was playing a little bit inefficiently, just because he was preparing for earlier aggression, but there was 0 early aggression, right, because of the greed of MC. So just a bit of a misread of the situation. I mean, I pinned that on both players because I would assume they could communicate with each other as to what's happening and what to do next. So it does feel like they did misread what was happening, and as a result were unable to stop MC from snowballing out of control. And with that, it is time. It is time for what comes next. You know, we've been having some fun with these 2v1s, but nah, papi. Now it's time for something more serious, something more intense. Now it is time for a 1v3. You know, if we can't throw 2 players at MC and bring him down, throw 3 players at him. Let's go. It's going to be Gnocchi, Rifador, and Greatheart as well. Let's go. The trio. Can they bring him down? Let's go. As this will be our final show match game. So we have final show match. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the man of the hour himself. We have the boss toss. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the purple Protoss. It is MC. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the trio. We have the 2 Terrans and the Protoss. We have together Rifador, we have Gnocchi, and we have Greatheart. Let's go. We have the great Gnocchidor. Oh god. Let us go. So 2 Terrans and a Protoss is going to be rising to the challenge here. We'll see if they can pull this off. We'll see if MC can keep up. Now, as we get into this, I could be mistaken, but I believe MC, first things first, he is on a 3 basic economy already, but I believe as he throws down the Forge, MC is rolling Protoss, SC2 Protoss this time. Previously, he was playing Brood War, now SC2 Protoss against Brood War races. Brood War Terrans and Brood War Protoss as well. So we have a bit of a reversal here instead. Oh, but we do see Forge on the way. Forge on the way here for MC to throw down his cannons. Setting up his Cybercore. Forge is now done. And MC, I imagine, is going to be setting up here with his own cannons. Likewise, I mean, with the boosted economy, I don't know if you noticed, MC is making 2 forges. He's making 2 forges. He's rushing into upgrades real fast, real quick to make use of this economy. It makes sense. So fast 1-1 upgrades here for MC. Very fast. Meanwhile, across the map, we have Rifador going for a Rax Expand single gas opener. Very economic. I do appreciate this out of Rifador. Likewise, Gnocchi does the same. We have, likewise, a Rax Expand. Yeah, we do have a Rax Expand here out of him as well. Actually, I think this was CC first. CC first out of Gnocchi, and Rax Expand here out of Rifador. But economic openers. So already, this is like a better start. A better start here in this 3v1. With more economic openers out of our Terran players. We do have our Protoss opening up 2 gates. So this is a safer opener out of Greatheart. I would have preferred a gate expand, to be honest. Ooh, getting into a 3rd gateway as well. Okay. And you can see here the production that MC can already afford. I do think that Greatheart is making a similar mistake to the previous 2 players, where they're playing very scared and very safe and very aggressive on one base, when they should be focusing their economies early on to be able to keep up with MC. So I like the approach by the Terrans, less so here. You can see the Greatheart, he did cancel one of his gateways, so 2 gate opener into a Stargate, then into an expansion. It is a delayed expansion, but thankfully it's still there. Like Greatheart, he did like rethink, you know, his initial plan of going for a third gateway, thankfully. Nexus is on the way. And MC is going Mass Blink Stalker. Jesus. With a Dark Shrine as well. Let's go. So Mass Blink Stalker with a Dark Shrine. He's setting up for 8 gates. No, sorry, 7 gates even. 7 gates for now. Extra pylons. Blink is on the way. DTs, Dark Shrine, maybe into Shadow Stride as well. Just Mass Blink Stalker with 1-1, soon to be 2-2 upgrades as well. And MC, as was stated by one of the casters by Artecario, he can soon flex his micro. Insane micro power. Oh boy. Meanwhile, when it comes to our 2 players here, Bio, not Mech. I was hoping at least one of the Terrans would play Mech and go Vulture Beast, sorry, Vulture Tank. So I'm a little bit concerned. As here we go, we do have our Dragoon set up here from our Protoss and just Bio from our 2 Terran players. And I'm concerned. I do think that MC has a lot of micro potential, especially pre-Stim. Stim is done for Rifador, Stim is not yet done for Gnocchi. That is concerning. Does he not have an Academy? Ooh, does have the Academy. Corsair production has begun, Fleet Beacon's on the way, but here come the Stalkers, here comes MC, and MC is looking to just overwhelm. Is somewhat of a setup. I do actually like the Corsair. It is going to help against the War Prism at least. But we need to work together here. Wizard repairs. No repair. Bunker goes down. Tank is getting set up. Siege mode is done. But MC is just going to overwhelm. He's just going to overwhelm the army here. Takes down most of the Marines. Tank is doing what he can. Storm is not yet done. But the tank is on its own. Yeah, the tank for the most part is on its own. MC pulls back for now. Regroups. Couple of boys are being pulled. Greatheart getting desperate. And charge is not yet done. Storm just now starting. Looks like MC wasn't aware that he didn't start Storm. Oh no, here come the DTs. That's the Dark Templar. They're waddling in. They're waddling in, Poppy. They're getting to the mineral lines. SCVs and probes are going to be going down into all 3 bases. Remember, scans are limited here. Yeah, we have turrets attempted. Turrets are on the way. There should be a scan here for Gnocchi. There's a first scan. Ooh, no scan for Rifador. No Comsat station. Yeah, no scans, so probes are going down, and MC will soon pull the trigger. At this point, I mean, he's... Yeah, there's not much to stop him. there's nothing here, really. Again, there's no follow-up tank. Tank is on the way. MC is picking them apart, Bappy. Ay, ay, ay. They're trying to hold on. Yo, the disruption web. Let's go. But the army just dives in. The army just dives in. The Zealots, they get overwhelmed. Stalkers as well. And MC, he will just break through the natural. There's a tank on the high ground. He has high ground vision. Ah, he has high ground vision. The tank does fall. And there's almost nothing left. MC can just warp in straight to the main. Again, warping in 14 Zealots at a time. That's a lot of Zealots. Ay, ay, ay. As Zealots, they break through. Storm into the mineral lines as well. The SE2 storm. And the match charge, they're just overwhelming. Yeah, they break through everything. And there just isn't really much left to defend. We have a stray tank here and there. We have a carrier. Great was trying to work towards carrier production. He's crazy. Yeah, just thinking a little bit too far ahead there. And with that, the production's under fire. GG gets called, and MC will take down Rifador, Gnocchi, and Greatheart will take down the trio 1-0. GG. GG. GG, well played. MC will take it. Very well done. Congratulations. MC will take down the team players, at least the 2v1s and the 3v1s, and even did hold his own against the other semi-pros as well in the 1v1 format. GG, well played. It was fun to see MC once again. It was fun to see him once again. One thing that I will say though is that I do wish that all the 1v1s were best of 3s. I wish we had some longer series there. I know a lot of games were played. Especially because of like the team format as well. But I do wish that we had more best of 3s instead of best of 1s. That is what I will say about this event. But regardless, was a lot of fun nonetheless. Was a lot of fun. As we can see here, you can see MC just clean sweeping the team players, clean sweeping the 2-1 and 3-1 matchups. Very nicely done. If you weren't here earlier, I do recommend the previous matches, as we were able to feature MC against Eon, Luciano, Ryojin, and Artegario. And here is where we had more of a back and forth. So Latino America, they were able to pose a threat. They were able to take maps and take series off of MC. MC does come out with the stronger scoreline at the end of the day. Technically, MC, what he wins like 5-3. He got 5 wins and 3 losses, so technically in favor of MC. Here, MC did struggle against Eon and Ryojin in the PvZ matchups. Eon and Ryojin rocking both Brood War and SE2 Zerg races, but MC was able to have much more dominant showings against Atacario and Luciano. So GG, well played. And again, this is also why I wish a lot of these matches were best of 3s instead of best of 1s. It would have been amazing to have seen more of MC against Luciano, more of MC against Atacario, and Ryojin as well. Would have been a treat to embrace. But regardless, congratulations here, and yeah, really fun to see MC once again returning after a bit of a hiatus. For those that are unaware, MC, of course, he did retire for many years, and MC actually, he became a League of Legends coach. He was like kind of like a BJ or an individual streamer for a long time as well, you know, with his own kind of endeavors nowadays. For those that are curious, MC has returned to somewhat competitive play as of a couple of months ago. Specifically, MC has been playing in the show matches. Not just the show matches, but he played in a Tasteless Invitational. Tasteless, he did have like a StarCraft Evolution Invitational. I believe there was like a Soup Invitational. Soup is like it's like the Korean version of Twitch. Like, they had their own StarCraft Evolution Invitational as well. And basically, MC has been playing specifically in StarCraft Evolution. StarCraft Evolution is what he has been playing in. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Been a lot of fun seeing him in these show matches. He's not playing in every tournament. He's not playing in all these StarCraft Evolution matches, but he's playing it more casually for fun instead. And it's fun to see him every now and then. After so long. After so long. Oh. And I also appreciate as well here from CranKy and from the Latin American community that they did actually host an interview with MC as well. They did pose him a couple of questions, and let's catch up with that interview here and now. So shout out to CranKy. First up, CranKy did ask him, especially because, you know, it's always a treat, you know, having someone, a legend like MC, you know, one of the OGs in StarCraft. He was dominant back in Wings of Liberty, coming into Heart of the Swarm, and even in the early years of Legacy of the Void as well. Did have some questions for him. Let's quickly catch up on that. Hold on. Okay, so first question. Who was the, so Enki was asking him, you know, some more general questions here to MC. Who was the player that inspired you to play SE2 professionally? Who was the player that did inspire you? This actually reminds me a little bit of the Zombregum interviews that we've been getting recently from players like DRG and Crank and Ryung. If you missed out on our thoughts on those interviews, then you can check out the podcast that we did host yesterday. We have been going over them week after week after week. This is pretty similar to what we heard from Ryung as well. MC's response was he didn't have anyone that inspired him in SE2 because he started in SE, like he was there at the beginning of SE2, right? There was no one to really look up to. MC was more of like a pioneer. Specifically, he said he was a starter in SE2, so he didn't have anyone that he looked up to. Enki was like, what about in Brood War? Because MC did play Brood War beforehand, and MC said Bisu. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. So for Brood War, MC looked up to Bisu. In SE2, he looked up to himself, papi. Oh my god. Let's go. S the MC. So really cool to hear his thoughts. Just catching up. Looks like Enki also translating. I didn't know this. Okay. Enki's responding to him. He's saying that that in the Spanish community they say they call Bisu Papi Bisu. I didn't know that. He's also a papi. Oh my god. Okay, they're letting MC know. Apparently that's what the Latin American community call Bisu. Papi Bisu. Beautiful. There's another papi. Second question. Which player of each race is your favorite in SE2? Interesting. I don't really know how much StarCraft 2 MC watches anymore. I don't know if he keeps up with the competitive scene or the competitive community. I don't know how involved MC is when it comes to just watching StarCraft. So okay. So Enki was like, which player of each race is your favorite in SE2? And MC is like, without me? For Protoss? Like, can I can I pick me for Protoss? Oh. Oh no. Enki's like, yeah, without you. So, okay. S the MC. Right, who's it gonna be? Again, I feel like MC's answer to this is gonna be telling about how much SE2 he watches nowadays. Especially if they're like old school players, right? Oh yeah, this is this is telling. All right. So who is MC's favorite player of each race? For Zerg, it is Stefano. Makes sense. Again, they're very much so from the same era. So Stefano for Zerg, MMA for Terran also makes a lot of sense. MMA and MC, I mean, they retired at around the same time. Around the same time. They peaked at the same time as well. They were from the same era. And for Protoss, Hero also makes sense. If you remember, when Hero went back to when the region lock was enforced and when MC went back to Korea, if you remember, this was back in 2016, maybe 2015, kind of the final year of Pro League. MC did join CJ Entus. If you remember, he joined CJ Entus. He was CJ MC there. He was on the same team as Hero, and he was like, Hero was the ace player of CJ Entus at the time, but MC was like a solid, kind of like right hand to Hero. And I would imagine that they did live together at the time in the CJ Entus team house, and I'm sure they became good friends. So yeah, MC giving Hero a shout out. His old teammate. And of course, nowadays, Hero is he's the best Protoss in Korea and one of the best Protoss players in the world. I would say the best Protoss player in the world, at least offline, you know, not including Max Packs, of course. But yeah, these answers are very much so, they're a little bit dated, is what I will say. But it makes sense. And I guess it also shows like who stands the test of time, right? Where out of Stefano, MMA, and Hero is the only one that's still competing, and is competing at the highest level as well. Like again, he's the best Protoss, or at least top 2 if you count online Protosses and Max Packs. So yeah, that's yeah, it does definitely tell a story or weave a story here for Hero. Been around for a long time. Big shout to Hero. All right, what's the next question? What do you have for us, Enki? Who was the toughest opponent you've had in SC2? Okay, that's almost like saying, like, who do you think was your rival? Or, I say rival. I guess toughest opponent could just be your most difficult, like, opponent you ever faced as well. Yeah, Enki's saying, hardest player to beat. Who's the hardest player you've ever brought down? What comes to mind, MC? What comes to mind? I mean, it's a lot of StarCraft history to go through. Here we go. Oh, okay. MC's saying that that if it wasn't for certain actions, then his answer might be one player. But MC says Maru. Which is true. I mean, like similarly to Hero, I think it's one of those things that it's kind of crazy to think about. But Maru has also been around for a very long time. We've seen Maru grow, even though he hasn't really grown too much. he still looks very young. But yeah, Maru, he's been competing. I mean, he was on Prime back in the day. We spoke about that, I think, the other day when we were talking about some of the friendships that have persisted over time between Bjorn, Creator, and Maru. How they were all ex-Prime boys, and they've been around for a very, very long time. And yeah, of course, they were active when MC was around as well. So yeah, the answer is Maru. Anki asking, what do you think of Cyril? What do you think of Cyril? Is he the best player in your opinion of all time? Oh, the GOAT, Pappy. The GOAT. The GOAT question. Esther Anki. I love this answer from MC. MC saying, yes, he is the best player of all time, but when I was the best, he was a noob. which is true. Like Cyril, he was around back in the day as well. That was before the rise of Cyril. When Cyril was still competing in the early years, MC was the GOAT. MC saying because like they're of different generations, and because when Cyril rose up, by then MC had already retired. He has a hard time like judging exactly like how good Cyril is right now. But he does say that he is the best. Yes. I love these answers from MC. Beautiful. Clem though, Clem I would say is the best player currently, but we're talking about like this is like a GOAT question that is being asked, which takes into consideration like their entirety of their career, not just current state of play. So that's kind of like regarding something a little bit different. Because yes, I would say that Clem is the best player currently, but I wouldn't say that Clem is the best of all time. That's like a different question. That's like a different discussion sort of thing. But what's our next question? Okay. Oh, Enki asking, do you think SC Enki coming in with the hard hitting smudge questions. Do you think SC2 will have a real future? What is your opinion? That's Enki's question. Yo, this is not the ESL chat, so watch yourself, Marine King Jr. This is a moderated chat, Bappy. So yeah, Enki asking, do you think SC2 has a future? What is your opinion? We'll see what MC says. I'm curious what MC's perspective on that is. Considering that, you know, he retired a very long time ago. Very long time ago. Yeah, MC is saying, I don't know, because when I retired, I think SC2 would be hard for earning money. but more prize for pro gamers. So I think what MC is trying to say here is that and I heard still patching. So yeah, so basically MC is saying that when he retired, he believed that there wouldn't be a future for SE2, and he's surprised that it kept going. So yeah, MC like kind of giving his perspective, which makes sense as well. That like, you know, he did believe that it was kind of going a little bit south, and he didn't believe that he would be able to make a living in SE2, which is why he stepped away. But he thinks it's a positive thing that like it's still going, there's still money there, and the game is still being patched. Which yeah, that perspective makes sense. And Enki elaborating as well when it comes to he's trying to elaborate because MC said that he thought it would be hard for earning money, and Enki elaborating saying that like what he means is that like only the top of the top you like make enough to like earn a proper living. I think that is especially the case in Korea as well, where Korea, I mean, for a very long time, Korea is very top heavy. Like, if you look at the prize distribution of GSL, it is insane. Just how much, like, first place wins compared to, like, you know, quarterfinalists or round of 16, for example. But yeah, Korea has been very cutthroat for a long time, for sure. For sure. Last question. What is your favorite unit of all time for StarCraft 1 and for StarCraft 2? For Brood War and SE2. Okay. What's his best units? Favorite units? I believe it's gonna be this. Yeah. MC saying Sentry. Makes sense. I feel like we've seen many a Sentry based all-in in the history of MC's like career. So his answer is the Sentry, the force fields. Thank you, let him know. All your fans in Latin America are very happy of having you here today. Thank you for all of your games. Big shout out to MC. Big shout out. Again, it was really cool to hear his thoughts on certain things, and really fun to see him here after so long. Right? It's been. I mean, I never got to cast MC. I've watched a lot of MC throughout the years. I mean, I got into watching competitive StarCraft at the start of Heart of the Swarm. Back in the day, back in Wings of Liberty, I would watch VODs from like Husky or watch VODs from HD StarCraft or Total Biscuit. I would mainly just watch VODs. I didn't really watch pro play until Heart of the Swarm, so I missed like MC's early runs in GSL. But like in Heart of the Swarm, MC was still very much so active. He was winning a lot of premier tournaments, and I would watch everything. It would be difficult, but I would watch everything back. So, big shout out. Big shout out MC. Enki's asking him if he has any last words. Oh, actually, Enki's asking for any last words in Spanish. Okay. Do you know any words? MC is like famoso? That is famous in Spanish. Famous. MC with the Spanish. Or adios. Okay. Enki saying, yes, you're famoso here in Latino America. Famoso. True. His Spanish is so good. Alright, they're bidding him farewell. They're saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thank you for the games. Out of all the Spanish words, famous and goodbye. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. They're bidding MC adieu, bidding him farewell. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Again, great to hear from MC again after so long. A lot of fun show matches as well. Again, MC isn't necessarily at his peak form like he used to be many years ago, but regardless, still made for some really fun games and was still able to showcase himself and his skill as well. For those that are unaware, the MC versus La Comunidad Latinoamérica or LatAm, this is a Showmatch series that has been running for a couple of months. They've already held these kind of show matches with Dark, with Björn, with Sue, and with Now MC as well, with Now MC and with Hon Mono. I also have the replays for the Hon Mono event, and we'll be covering that either next week or in the coming new year. So we'll be eventually going over the Hon Mono show match as well. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, shout out to Enki. Enki, for those who don't know, he is Enki Alexander. He's a Spanish caster, and he also organizes a bunch. He has a lot of contacts. He organizes a bunch of events. Does a lot of work behind the scenes, and it's thanks to Enki that they're able to facilitate and get in touch and get in contact with all these pro players, and allow for this kind of fun show match series to take part. Again, it's not too serious, you know, it's like these fun, like 2v1s and 3v1s and all this stuff. It's a little bit more lighthearted, less so super serious, but always a lot of fun nonetheless. So big shout out to Enki, and shout out to the rest of the Latin American community. Again, there were like 5 channels that casted this in Spanish. Shout out to Pacheca, shout out to Pobla, shout out to Enki, of course, and all the other Spanish casters that got involved. Much love. Gracias, gracias. Thank you so much. And again, we were able to jump in and cast in English as well. Ooh. Let's go. Out of all the Spanish. Yeah, exactly. If I was in this position, I'd be scared. MC is like the shark in Jaws, hunting poor diamond players. True. Storm looks so much cooler. It does. Like, Storm in StarCraft Evolution looks so good. Looks so devastating. But with that, that is going to conclude our Showmatch series here with MC. Again, we'll be going over the Hon Mono Showmatch most likely in the coming weeks to catch up. And whenever there is another Latin American community show match, we will be hosting that here as well. Whenever we have time, whenever we do have time. Someone in the chat, I believe Nikachu, was expressing earlier how you know, we have a long day ahead of us. We do. We have a long day ahead of us here on the CranKy Ducklings. We just wrapped up with our first broadcast of the day, but in how many hours? In 5. Oh, that's a 5-hour break. In 5 hours time, we're going to be live with the Firegrow Cup Group A. If you're curious, Firegrow Cup, it is a monthly tournament based in the CIS region, based in the European region, and I actually haven't had a look at the groups yet. I believe the qualifiers did conclude yesterday. Firegrow Cup. Wikipedia. So tonight we're going to be casting Group A, tomorrow Group B, and then the day after that we're going to be going over the playoff bracket. And quickly checking who is going to be getting involved here. Okay, we have Art, we have Strange, Power, Shameless, Replicant, and Nikic in Group A. Group B, we have Milky Cow, Young Yakov, Nicorect, Wayne, Rostock, and UED Soldier. Oh boy, so some pretty massive groups. Again, we're going to be casting Group A in 5 hours time. These are round robin groups, so a lot of matches are going to be held, a lot of matches are going to be casted. There's a lot of StarCraft to go over. After we finish Firegrow Cup Group A, we're going to be casting a Lima League. A Lima League is going to be in 13 hours. In 13 hours time after Firegrow Cup, we'll be jumping into a Lima League and going over those replays. For those that are curious, for those who do not know, we usually cast a Lima League live. We usually cast it live. I believe it just started, or I believe it's just now starting. But whenever we cast it, we would cast it over on Chijijik. We cast it over on the Korean streaming platform, and we wouldn't really get a lot of traction there, wouldn't get a lot of viewership, just because, as you can imagine, it is a foreign platform, and it can be quite difficult to watch live depending on where you are in the world. So we did decide to stop casting it live, and instead we'll just cast it via replays here on Twitch. Again, we have the option to cast it live if we wanted to, and we have been casting it live for the past 2 months, but a lot of people don't watch it, is the problem at the end of the day. It's like, oh, you know, sure, we have the luxury of being the official English casters for a Lima League, but if no one watches it, then it doesn't really matter, right? Like, it doesn't really matter too much. So, because of that, we have made the decision to stop casting it live and to cast it via replays here on Twitch instead. This does mean that we have to wait until after the event ends. Once it does conclude, then we'll be casting it via replays again in 11 hours time. So that's the plan. That is the plan here on the CranKy Ducklings. Again, that'll be after the Fire Grow Cup. Otherwise, for the time being, we are almost going to be wrapping up. I have one match remaining. I have one more match to jump into here. Up next, we're going to be going on a very short break. I need a moment to set up. Up next, we have something different, something special. We have a Duckling viewer replay cast. Oh boy, I believe yesterday or the day before, I do apologize to Night Phoenix, but Night Phoenix did redeem a replay to be casted, and we have a little bit of time here before our next cast, so we're going to be diving into a viewer replay submitted by Night Phoenix after the break. So one final game before we head on, before I get some rest before the next cast. So we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. See you soon. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We just wrapped up with the MC Showmatch Series. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was a lot of fun. But now we are back with something a little bit different, something a little bit special. We have a viewer replay cast available here. For those that are curious, if you're in the chat, there is a point redemption available in the chat with your channel points, where you can have us cast one of your replays. You can have us cast one of your replays, and Night Phoenix did redeem a replay cast 2 days ago during the Sparkling Tuna Cup, and we have a little bit of time here to jump into that replay here and now. I believe this was one of the games that actually took part in Sparkling Tuna Cup. We weren't able to cast it live at the time. We were focusing on other portions of the bracket, but now we can jump into this singular best of one. Let's go. Let us go. If you missed out on the MC Showmatch series, I do recommend it. It was a lot of fun. It was a great time that we were able to have when it came to like the team matches and the other best of ones as well. But now we're jumping into our final game of the night. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Ukrainian Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Astronaut Esports. It is Night Phoenix. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Italian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Azura. Here we go. We have our PvP again. This match took place 2 days ago during the Sparkling Tuna Cup. And I'm curious as to why Night Phoenix did redeem this replay. I'm curious what kind of shenanigans we have ahead of us. Night Phoenix is typically an aggressive player in PvP. I do recall a lot of aggression, a lot of one-base all-ins, a lot of very active play from Night Phoenix. Likewise, Azura does often go for more economic openers. Speaking of, do we go for the Gate Cybercore? Do we go for a delayed second gateway instead here? We should be throwing down the second gate, right? Yeah, there we go. 2 gate opener. 2 gate opener out of Azura. 2 gate opener out of Night Phoenix as well. 2 gate openers all around. Probes are moving out across the map. And we'll see how we follow this up. Really, we're just looking for our first units. Once the Cybercore is done, we can see if we open up Double Adept, Double Stalker, or Stalker Sentry. Stalker Sentry are the most standard, more macro-oriented openers, and I expect that out of Azura, but we'll see what Night Phoenix does embrace instead. Still, we're just gearing on up. Likewise, Probe Scouts into the mains, keeping an eye on the second pylon. Second pylon's in the main base for Azura. Likewise, second pylon in the main for Night Phoenix as well. Both players confirmed that there is no proxy. So no proxy from either player. Both players are fully aware. And now we can settle in. Now we can say that we have our answer. Double Adept. Double Adept here. Double Adept from Night Phoenix. Meanwhile, Stalker Sentry from Azura instead. So very different openers. As we did mention, Stalker Sentry is more macro focused. It allows us to be more defensive. Allows us to scout across the map with hallucination as well, especially with the energy overcharge. So a very safe way to open up and to get into the natural, into a more macro setup. Meanwhile, Night Phoenix Double Adept to harass, to get across the map, to wreak havoc. Twilight Council opener as well. Night Phoenix going for a delayed expansion. So Double Adept into Twilight Council, into I would imagine Blink. Adepts are moving out. Back at home, Azura attempts an expand, but there is a pylon block to delay the expansion. So the expansion is being delayed. Adept's going to be moving out. We'll get across the map. Azura setting up for a proxy across the map. You have my attention. Here comes that expansion. Adepts threatening a shade. So far, Azura's keeping up. Does fully wall up. He walls off, sends out the hallucination. Again, it's going to be on Azura to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, I was not expecting this. Glaives, not Blink. Okay, it's going to be Glaive Adepts here from Night Phoenix. Are we just going for... Okay, we're expanding. I was going to say, are we going for a one-base all-in? But Night Phoenix is expanding, but this is hyper-aggressive here from Night Phoenix. This does not scale well into the mid-game or into a longer game state. This is designed to wreak havoc here and now, and here comes the proxy. Here comes the reinforcing gateways. Meanwhile, Azura trying to catch out the Adepts, but alas, he gets caught out himself. 4 Adepts here already for Night Phoenix. Oh, Azura, he does got the pylon. He sees, he confirms. He knows. He knows what's going on. Sees a pylon. That's a big tell. Pylon under fire, distracting all the Adepts. There's that proxy gateway. As Night Phoenix is gearing up, hunting down the Stalkers. There's the recall. Does he get the Stalker? Barely not. Both Stalkers, they do escape. Azura was setting up his own proxy, but alas, he has to focus on the defense back at home. Twilight Council's on the way. And we need shield batteries. We need shield batteries. We need Stalkers. We need everything here to defend. Because here comes Night Phoenix. That's a lot of Adepts. 6 Adepts so far. 6 Adepts for the Protoss. With the red Protoss even. Sorry, 7. 8. 8 Adepts threatening a shade. There's the full wall. Does he commit? Oh, he doesn't. No major commitment. Goes to the pylon. Pylon does take a hit. Behind this, Robo's on the way. I would imagine this is going to be for the Warp Prism to drop into the main as more Adepts are warping in. Night Phoenix just going Mass Adept. Oh boy. Meanwhile, across the map, speaking of Adepts, Azura does slip in. 2, 3 probes going down, 4 probes even to Adepts taking one-shot workers. 5 worker kills at the same time. Night Phoenix does commit, going for the pylon. It does depower the shield battery. Shield battery is depowered. Sentries are going to be going down as well. Night Phoenix commits. And will take down sentry after sentry. Oh my god. Shield battery putting in a lot of work. Barely keeps it alive. Oh my god. Yes, the missed shots there from Night Phoenix. Sentry finally goes out, but across the map, that's going to be 8 probe kills. Azura wreaking havoc. Azura doing game-ending damage here. Azura is going to be forced to kill his own shield battery. Did finish. But is looking very strong here. Does have a massive economic lead. And Night Phoenix, I mean, he was already all in. Now even more so. Oh no. That's more probes going down. Losing another worker. Night Phoenix still on 3 gateways. Has at least glaives. And it's going to be all or nothing for Night Phoenix. Okay, what do we have? It's going to be 11 Adepts against 7 Stalkers. I spoke too soon. Adepts are being targeted down. Azura looking strong. Completely shutting this down. Likewise, with that proxy across the map, he can throw down a Dark Shrine. I would have assumed that that's what the proxy was for. With the Dark Shrine, Blink is now done. Night Phoenix coming in from behind. Gateway is going to be depowered. Night Phoenix going straight for the main. Oh my god. Does wall open Night Phoenix. He can commit. Yeah, he breaks through. Breaks through the shield battery. Busts into the main. Forces a recall. Stalkers, they do get in position. They can focus down the Adepts one after the other. Shield battery putting in a little work. Adepts, they cancel the shade. But Azura's all over this. Azura keeps up. Forces this back. Immortal production has begun. Not shield battery. Adepts, they shade into the main. He gets 1, he gets 2. Gets 2 probe kills. Oh, not much more than that. At the same time, Adepts, they shade in towards the natural. 4 probes. Not bad. Getting 5 worker kills. 5 workers going down. Azura still up in the economy, still up in the probe counts. Now moving out. He's got 10 Stalkers. Gateway still depowered. Azura even thinking about expanding and taking a 3rd. And he will. Meanwhile, across the map, Night Phoenix still building up. Has the Immortal. Shield battery alongside this. He's going to have the overcharge. Energy overcharge, I should emphasize. Azura does poke in. Doesn't quite break through. Night Phoenix holding his own. Forge on the way for +1. And we might just settle into a longer game state. Azura still has the edge 100% with a better economy. And is now getting into Immortal production. No Forge, which means Azura's going to fall behind in the upgrades. And Night Phoenix skipping Blink, going straight into charge. Makes sense. Going straight for charge lots. Immortal charge, I should emphasize. So Night Phoenix is attempting to transition. Still just a really rough game state here for Night Phoenix. Tries to break out. Oh, doesn't quite get the Stalker. Azura racing back. Does fall back. Poking forward. So Azura poking in, dancing with the army. Dance with the army. Likewise, Bay is on the way. Night Phoenix working towards disruptors. Okay, so even though Night Phoenix is behind, I mean, we've seen this time and time again. The power of the disruptor, it is the great equalizer, of course. With those purification overs, you can be down 20, 30, 40 army supply, and you can still bounce back with disruptors. We've seen it many a time, and we can't see it again. Night Phoenix, okay, double adept towards the 3rd. Likewise, Prism into the main. Stalker's in position. We'll zone back the War Prism. Adepts do make their way into the mineral line though. And probes are going to be going down. It's pulling Azura apart. Getting 5, 6, 7, 8 probe kill. Oh my god, can we get up to 10? Up! Oh, not quite. Yeah, barely not. Adepts are cleaned up. 9 probe kill zone nonetheless. Good damage. Night Phoenix takes a worker lead. For the first time all game. Is now up in workers. Stalkers they poke in. But there are 3 immortals, and here we go. Double disruptor production. 2 robos. He's crazy. Making 2 disruptors at a time. Night Phoenix bouncing back. He's going back into this. Azura still being active, just sharking around, backing up. Azura, when it comes to his army composition, is going for a more standard route, is going from Blink Stalkers into Immortals into Charge Lot Archon. This is a more standard rate of progression here. What Night Phoenix is doing is something very akin to Geralt. Geralt, he very much so loves skipping Archons and going straight Disruptor. Disruptors are revealed. Colossus production has begun. You may be thinking Colossus in PvP. Yes, they have their place in PvP. Specifically, Colossus, they excel against a gateway composition. They're almost like an alternative to the Archon, where they do well against Stalkers and Zealots. Likewise, what they struggle against is Disruptors, but Azura doesn't have Disruptors. So tech-wise, Night Phoenix is ahead. Does have that lead. Azura behind this, getting his own 4th, faster than that of Night Phoenix. Base is going to be denied. Nexus is denied. So far, so good for Azura. Maintaining at least a supply lead, and here we go. The base on the way. Azura does need those disruptors. Without them, he's going to have a very hard time engaging with the main army. Ooh, does stuff like the Prism. Gets very low. Prism gets low. Night Phoenix finally takes the 4th. 4th base getting up and running. Night Phoenix building up. The base is now done for Azura, and we need those disruptors. How many robos does he have? 2. Sorry, just the 1. Just the 1 robo. He can make 1 disruptor at a time. There it is, it's on the way, but we do need that second robo. There it is, second robo now being thrown down. This does feel a little bit late though. And Azura's moving out. Azura's being active. Risky move out here from our blue Protoss. Very risky. It is up in supply, that is true, but he's pushing into disruptors, which is never easy. It's never an easy thing to do. Azura setting up a flank, hits the 4th base, trying to knock it down. Likewise, coming in from behind, Nova goes up. Ooh, massive connection. It connects with the Zealots. Likewise, with the main army as well. Takes out a sentry. Another Nova with the Archons. 2 more Archons go down. Massive pickoffs. Alas, Azura coming in for the surround. Goes to the dive, gets on top of the Colossus. The Colossus, they hold their own. Yeah, they hold their own. They do not go down. Likewise, 3rd Colossus comes in to reinforce. The Zealots are trickling in. But Night Phoenix holds. He holds on, preserves every single Colossus. The disruptors that go down for the most part. There's 1 disruptor left. That was a massive fight in favor of Night Phoenix. Azura forced all the way back. And this wasn't anti-timing. Now finally the disruptors have arrived, but Azura lost so much there. I look at this lost tab here. Azura, he lost 3 Immortals, lost 4 Archons as well. Just so many Archons went down, 11 Stalkers. And what did he get? He got 2 disruptors. 2 disruptors, and he traded Archon for Archon. That was a better fight for Night Phoenix. And Azura, he's committed at this point. And he's got 1 disruptor. Disruptor's on cooldown. Night Phoenix going for a massive Zealot counterattack. Zealots, they hit the natural, going for the robo. They force a recall. Going for the Bay, actually. Okay. The Bay is going to go down. Nice pickup. Will delay more disruptors. We do see Azura getting up to 3. Night Phoenix now moving out. Even going for the Templar Archives. I shouldn't get it. A little bit ambitious. Templar Archives will survive. Night Phoenix moving out. Does move out, rotates towards the left-hand side. Azura trying to keep up. Again, the supplies are neck and neck. The supplies are close, but again, the soup does lie. Soup does lie here. It comes down to the high-tech units. I mean, with 3 disruptors, Azura can hold on. True. Can hold on. The disruptors, they zone each other away. You see Azura diving in towards that 4th, forces a recall. Yeah, forces the entire army back home. Azura dipping into the main. There are Sorgs in position. The Prism's going to go down. Yeah, massive pickoff. Prism does fall. Azura catching out an Immortal, almost a disruptor as well. Oh, the Nova! Oh my god. Massive Nova goes off. Immortal goes down, but not the worst trade here for Night Phoenix. Taking down a lot of Zealots in the process. Night Phoenix getting supply blocked. Disruptors move in. Nova goes off. Ooh, 2 disruptors go down. Brutal pickoff. Azura down to 3. 3 disruptors left. Night Phoenix pushing in. Still waiting to break out of that supply block. 3 pylons on the way. Getting into +1 air attack. 3 Stargates as well. Show us the Sky Toss. Sky Toss on the horizon. Still missing that Fleet Beacon, of course, but Night Phoenix is on the way. On the way to Sky Toss. Already maxed out as well. Now would be the time to trade for Night Phoenix. To trade with the army. Is being active. Azura trying to stabilize. But Azura has been 1 step behind tech-wise almost this entire game. Once disruptors hit the field, Azura comes in, snipes the Prism. Prism goes down. The Zealots deny the 5th. Likewise, DTs deny the low ground as well, or the southern expansion. Bases are denied. Night Phoenix isn't trading, so as a result, Azura's catching up in army supply. Azura is at least building up a bank, but ideally Azura wants... Sorry, Night Phoenix is building up a bank. Ideally, Night Phoenix wants to trade out Zealots and start replacing those Zealots with Skytoss units, like carriers. Like carriers, like Tempest. Ideally, he wants to start working towards that, but at last is still stuck with a maxed out army. Isn't really doing much with it. Not yet. So Azura has caught up. Is going to be rotating. Fleet Beacon is done, and again, Night Phoenix has to get rid of some of these Zealots. Has to trade. Zealots they poke in. We got 1 disruptor. And they get an Immortal as well. And again, as we get rid of these Zealots, carriers are on the way. Carriers have begun. Just freeing up that supply. Likewise, Azura getting ready for his own massive Zealot counterattack as well. Unfortunately, Azura has not begun to work towards Skytoss himself. He could, if he only knew. Azura will overwhelm. Does overwhelm the Zealots. Night Phoenix has to respond. Azura defends back at home. Nova's a zone away. Zoning back Night Phoenix. Oh my god, so many Novas! That's a lot of disruptors. With the DTs, no detection, no shot. The mass DT. The army runs in head first. DTs annihilate the Stalkers. Azura does not gain any ground. No massive connections either. Ay, ay, ay. At the same time, though, Azura going for a big Zealot counterattack. Night Phoenix not quite in position. Carrier gets revealed. Azura now aware. More carriers in production. And again, the longer this goes on, just the more refined of an army Night Phoenix is amassing. With more disruptors, more carriers, better upgrades. Azura does begin +1 air attack, but is still quite a ways away from getting into that kind of army. Azura moving out. Nova goes off. Ooh, massive connection. Nova does connect. Army diving in. Taking some massive Novas to the face. But what about the Skytoss, right? The Skytoss army doesn't care about your Novas. As Night Phoenix does plummet in supply, but cannot break through. Cannot break through this army. We do see Azura trying to respond with Massive Blink Stalker. Has potential. Azura dives in. Does catch a carrier. One carrier goes down. Azura rotating over. Night Phoenix trying to keep up. Novas, they do crazy army. Night Phoenix rotating around. Ooh. It's going to be rotating. Still looking for a way in. Not quite able to. And eventually this mass carry army is just, it's already overwhelming. Like, we're getting to the point where we can aim if happy. Ay, ay, ay. Of course, it's important that Night Phoenix maintain some disruptors to make sure the soldiers don't blink in. That's really all they're there for, to protect the carriers. As we're reaching critical mass, we have 8 carriers. Oh my god. And Azura just now starting up his own Stargates, but these Stargates are so late. Otherwise, Azura could embrace Tempest production, but is so far away from that. Night Phoenix still stuck at home. Now poking out. Oh my god. The carriers, they punish this so hard. Taking down how many Stalkers? 7. 7 Stalkers go down, and counting. Azura being forced back. Oh, goes for the dive. He blinks in. He dives on the army. Nova goes off. Massive connection. From 8 down to 4 carriers. Not bad. 4 carriers go down, but Azura plummets in supply. Does have the greater economy though. As I say that, Night Phoenix going to be meeting up with those Archons. This is what Night Phoenix was missing with his main army, true. Was missing those Archons. They would have actually helped so much with supporting the carriers. But now the death blow of an army has come together. Now, Tempests are ideal. Like, Tempests are superior to carriers in that sense, as they do bonus damage to massive units. And Tempests, they can annihilate carriers. Meanwhile, DTs, they slip into the main. Depowering some of the Stargates. But we need more time for Tempest. Is the problem. Is that Azura is behind when it comes to production. Needs more time, and bases are going to be going down. Oof. Nova goes off. Decent blink. But Night Phoenix should take down this northern expansion and top left as well. Oh, the probes, get out of here! Ah, they will get away. Probes, thankfully, they do escape. They evacuate top left. Sort of coming in from behind. It's going to be all or nothing. No, oh my god. Never send the army away. Sort of rotating. 3 Tempests have arrived. They can help. They can do their part. Night Phoenix is going to be rotating. Oh, once again, a bit of a misrally. Night Phoenix with the carriers. It just rides 2 carriers into their deaths. Nice vehicles here by Azura. Okay, Azura, back in this. How many Tempests? Still only 4. Still only 4 Tempests with Mass Blink Stalker instead. But I will say that suddenly Azura has a comparable army to that of Night Phoenix. I would like to see more Disruptors. Speaking of, one Disruptor gets caught out. Night Phoenix coming from behind, Novas go up. These connections, they take down one of the Archons. They get one, they get some Stalkers as well. A bit of an awkward engagement here from Night Phoenix. Nice kiting with the Tempest. But the Stalkers, a lot of them are going down the river. Massive connection. Nova goes off. Stalkers, they're falling, they're crumbling. And Tempest on their own, they can't really do much against this. We need support. And now there's barely any Stalkers. Geese and Novas here from Azura. A very scrappy engagement. Most of the carriers are full. There's one carrier left. But what about the ground army? Novas, they keep zoning away. The final carrier falls. Again, the power of the Tempest. But now the Tempest are falling as well. They crumble. GG gets called as Azura runs out of an economy. And Night Phoenix takes down Azura. GG. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A wild game here again. Night Phoenix did attempt with an all-in initially with all those Glaive Adepts and was unsuccessful. I will say that Azura was able to defend quite well, take an economic advantage, get a natural, get a third base up and running, gain a greater economy. It was in the aftermath of that Night Phoenix did rush into Disruptors. And it took a little bit too long for Azura to realize what was going on. By the time he did, he was trying to catch up with his own Disruptors. As it was catching up, Night Phoenix was already working towards Sky Toss. So Night Phoenix was just one step ahead after the failed aggression, after the failed Glaive Adepts. Likewise, it was also able to stabilize economically by killing 9 probes across the map and by being aggressive with, 2 Adepts at a time. So Night Phoenix did stabilize, and Azura did lose that lead. Did end up losing that lead. So GG, well played. Very impressive performance there by Night Phoenix. Very well done. And with that, it did take the game, and I believe did end up taking the series as well over Azura. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. Surely Azura should have clicked the Disruptors before the carries there. I mean, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of scenario where I don't necessarily think there was a bad option. If he did go for the Disruptors instead, the carriers would have obviously dealt more damage and still wreaked havoc when it comes to the ground army. Unfortunately, Azura was just in a really rough position just because he was kind of lacking support. If you remember, he had 3 Disruptors, only 3 on the ground, so his ground army was lacking in a sense. Likewise, took some massive Novas to the face as well. It was brutal. So it's just a rough engage there for Azura, and he was losing bases, losing his economy, down to 40 workers towards the end. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Night Phoenix. And with that, that is our final game of the evening. Final game of the evening here. We just wrapped up with the MC show match. We just wrapped up with our 1 viewer replay here from Night Phoenix, and we are wrapping up for the time being. Again, Alima League is currently live at the moment. Alima League is live, is being casted over on the Chijik platform. We, just as a PSA once again, we usually cast it live ourselves, but we have made the decision to stop casting it live just because we don't really get much traction or much viewership on Chijik. So we are going to be casting via replays afterwards instead, which means we have a little bit of time off here. We're going to be heading on over and having a bit of a break. We're going to be back in how many hours time exactly? Let me just double check. We are going to be back in 4 hours. In 4 hours time, this stream is going to be back live, and we're going to be casting Fire Grow Cup. Fire Grow Cup Group A is going to be live on this channel. Then after Fire Grow Cup, then we're going to be casting the Alima League replays. That is the plan. So back to back to back, three casts here tonight. We do have a 4-hour break at least until the next cast. I'm tempted to have a nap. I don't know if I can. We'll see. I might just get some food and just work on some VODs and just work on social media. And then we'll be live, of course, in 4 hours with the Fire Grow Cup. So plenty more StarCraft to come tonight. Plenty more to come. Let's go. That's a lot of casting. As always, Papi, as always. Plenty of casting here on the CranKy Ducklings. Plenty of casting. All the StarCraft. But light, I just woke up. Buenos dias. Buenos dias, Papi. Buenos dias. If you missed out, we just wrapped up a bunch of show matches with MC, with Minchul. It was great to see him once again, so I do recommend the VODs. Do recommend them. They're on YouTube and on Twitch, so the VODs are available. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off for the time being. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll be back in 4 hours time with the Fire Grow Cup. If you want to tune in, if you want to support us, we do cast on a daily basis, or there are days like this where we cast like 2 or 3 times a day. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft on the CranKy Ducklings. You can follow us on the social medias, !socials in the chat. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Mastodon, Blue Sky, YouTube, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. You can check us out. Likewise, you can support us via Patreon if you wish, Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is set up to fund our weekly tournaments, events like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. We do host 3 events here that are funded via Patreon. If you want to help us grow the events, you can do so via Patreon if you wish. We do give benefits to those patrons. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. We do appreciate it. And yes, we'll see you guys in a couple of hours with some more casting, with some more StarCraft. Until then, gracias. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.